What are you wearing?
A Canadian tuxedo.
Canadian
I'm a hockey player. Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
To all you Blues fans, we're bleeding blue with you.
Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues.
Now please welcome to the ice for their pregame warm-up, presented by Scott Credit Union. Yours.
No fan report. Aloha, everybody. How are you doing? Just trying to get myself situated in the two screens. It is game day. It is an ESPN Plus Hulu game, hockey night, ESPN's hockey. That means your preview, your only pregame show is right here. Get your friends, let them know. Pregame right here. And we got somewhat of news. There might be a trade that happens during this game. It's been reported, but it's pending player approval. That's how it's being reported. Now, I want to remind everybody that the last time a trade like this got reported, it really messed up. It messed up bad, right? The player was not on board. We talked about it with Jim Thomas the other night. Yesterday, actually. A state generator, I heard Armstrong traded himself to a better team. Lance thinks that Armstrong's going to be the next GM for Toronto. God, I hope. You know, in some way, I say no, but God, I hope so. Because I think he can fuck that team up so good. Oh, my goodness. Because that's not it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. Aaron Nels, thank you. Thank you. Justin should be along shortly. May have forgot there was a game or that it was a show today. I don't remember. But he pops up. He pops up. We love him. He did a great job. Oh, man. I'll say this to him right now. I don't know. The teaser I used, that was his. I saw him put that out. I was like, man, that's perfect. I'm using that. You know, I usually struggle getting these teasers out, trying to figure out why sometimes the show is late. Show is late, but yeah, I got Dante's talked to me. A buddy of mine has sent me some stuff from my fantasy league. Parayko's being traded to the Buffalo Sabres for the Redeem Marka and a first-round pick. That's basically 2 first-round picks. 2 first-round picks for Parayko. Now, what are my thoughts on the possibility of Parayko being traded to Buffalo? Well, first and foremost, I wish Justin was here so he could hear me say this, and I'll have to. Justin said this, has said this from almost the beginning of the season, that Boberg is going to be your number 1. Well, if that's the way you're projecting it, and Parayko's got this, 4 more year contract, if I'm right, I think it's 4 years, to 29-30, right? He's got a contract that goes out to 29-30. 4 years on that. 4 years on that, right? Parayko, 1, 2, yeah. So not counting this year, 1, 2, 3, 4 more years before he hits UFA. I, I, I'm okay with this because now, do I wish it was Falk? Yes, I wish it was Falk. But you're not getting 2 number ones for Falk, right? Did you see Calgary got for? Oh yeah, that was a huge return. What, 3 number 2 picks, and then something else? Then it's something else. Wow. Justin was traded. Well, I'm the one who would do the trading, so I didn't trade him. He has not agreed to it, though, correct? That is what it sounds like, Kyle. That's what it sounds like, right? Right now, no. And see, this is my problem with this. And I think I understand the media. I get it. But for me, if I had this information and I was media, I would probably get fired because I wouldn't release it yet. I wouldn't release it because I need to know that the player knows about it first. Any player that has a no trade clause that I'm being told is being talked about in a trade, my first question is, does the player with the NTC know about this? If the answer is I don't know or no, then I'm holding on to it. I think that it's quite possible, Chris. It's quite possible, right? The Philadelphia media screwed that one up. Krug got pissed. Well, first of all, Krug had said, I got an NTC, I'm not going anywhere. I like it here, but that's not the way it works all the time. No, see, Kyle, I disagree with that. See, I disagree with that. He is sitting from back spasms. That's what's being reported. The last 2 games, he's had back spasms. This is not being reported that he is a scratch due to anything else but back spasms. So sometimes in 101, and I get it, I don't listen to it because I'm so far away in the time, but I don't agree with that. I could be wrong, but I don't agree with that. It could be right, but I don't agree with it. Right? And that's just Guy. That's just how Guy feels. Right? That's just how Guy feels. Trying to catch up. I seen something about Bennington being traded, but that horse shit. Just trying to catch up on everything. I messed something up here. How did they do this? I have the wrong thing picked. Here we go. There we go. Now I'll get the right one picked. There we go. Oh, no, Kyle, I get it. And I take it if I come off the wrong way. And that's fine. And Kyle, I'm sorry. Forgive me, buddy. And I know this is Alaska Kyle. So Kyle, forgive me if I'm coming off the wrong way. You're a good friend of this show, and I didn't mean it that way. So please forgive me, bud. At least I think this is Alaska Kyle. Is this Alaska Kyle or not? He'll tell me. I think it is. May not be. I think I have 2 Kyles. I don't think I've seen Alaska Kyle. I don't think I've seen Alaska Kyle in a while. Right? Got to figure out how to get. What I wanted to create is a show invite list, and these are people that want the show. You want to know when the show is, that when I post it, I send you out an invite list and kind of go from there. I'm going to try and work on that. I'm trying to spend more time with the show. Trying to do a little better. I want to really start focusing on the show some. No, I'm in Missouri. Okay. Wrong Kyle then. I think Kyle Mead is my Alaska Kyle. Okay. I know I got a couple of them, right? taking on Seattle today in the Emerald City. Could be a good one. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Now, the Blues played well in the last game. They played very, very well from the get-go, right? Surprised me how well they played. Really did. Right? On the road in Minnesota, played in an outstanding game from top to bottom. Now, you've got to do the same thing against Seattle, and right now, everyone in your you're last in your division, and you got to deal with the trade shit, right? And that's not always easy to do, right? Seattle coming into tonight is 19-6-5 at home. They are 29-22-9 with 67 points. The Blues on the road are 8-17-3. They just broke a 10-game road losing streak. They are 22-29-9. Bennington will possibly be in the net tonight. At least that's what I saw. He is 8-18-6. Grubauer I think it's going to be Grubauer. He is 11-7-3. I just putting Shin on the first. Are they trying to up his value? Maybe. I do think it's time to part ways with Shin, to be honest. Yeah, Justin put out, and I don't know if I have it here. Let's see if I can find it. Justin put out the starting lineup. I shared. He put it out on his page. He didn't put it out in the Blues fan clan. I wonder if he's mad at me. Justin, you pissed at me? I hope not. Let's see. I posted it. Here we go. Thomas, Shin, and Snuggerud. Okay. Bushnevich, Neighbors, and Kyrou. Dvorsky, Holloway, and Suter. Finley, Sundquist, and Torpachenko. Sitton, Walker. Okay. Defense, Broberg and Falk. Falk is Broberg's not working well with Falk, though he did have an incredible game last game. I don't think Fowler and Mayu, Tucker and Kessel. Right? And for all those you guys who bitch at me about the number one picks, when I say Bennington's worth 3 number ones, if Parayko's getting 2 number ones, I guarantee you Bennington's worth 3 number ones. And I kind of brought it up last night. that the only ones who are not looking at, who are downvaluing Bennington's trade value is fans. It's not GMs and it's not scouts. GMs and scouts don't look at the numbers like we do. Now, they may use them to try and downgrade it, but we all know better. Okay? If I'm a GM, right? If I'm the Blues GM and I didn't share the show in my own fucking group. Dumbass. Let me do that real quick. Let me do that. Let me go to Guy Bensing. Yeah, I know. I'm a dum-dum. Dum-dum, give me gum-gum. Dum-dum, give me gum-gum. Trying to help people out. Trying to help me out. Post this. I don't need to. You're going to watch it. You're going to watch it. If you're not, you're not. At least put it in my group. Put it in one more group. Yeah, I know. Not exciting television. Come on, Guy. It's not exciting. You're not exciting. And why would I watch? You don't tell me anything new. Got something better to do? Well, the prospect is going to be something like what he's going to be equivalent of a first-round pick. That's what I'm getting at. Lance, come on the show. Come on, buddy. If you're feeling up to it. I'm hearing Vegas offered Schmidt and a third for Bennington right now. Not even going to come close to that. Nope, that's an automatic no. Automatic no. Well, what team needs a goalie that bad that's in the hunt? Edmonton, Montreal, oh man. Those are the two that come to mind. Give me a moment. And Bennington's not a rental. Remember that. Bennington's not a rental. That's what a lot of you guys forget. Tampa's good. Buffalo, maybe. But I think that with trading Parayko, that would have already been added. Hurricane Penguins. I could see the Penguins maybe taking the Islanders. I think are good. Canadians I could see the Canadians doing a boost. Bruins are good. Columbus, they're right there. Columbus, maybe. The Caps, they're right there. They're only 4 points back. The Caps, maybe. Edmonton for sure. The Ducks, maybe. Knights, maybe. The Avalanche and Dallas are secure. Sharks, maybe. Kings, maybe. They're both on the outside sitting in. Right? Those are the ones that I could see. Lance says nobody giving up. He called him a mid prospect. Not going to be good for me. And Bennington has a 14-team no trade clause. Yes, he does. Well, and that means he's very tradable. And next year that goes down to 10. Right? Avs made a trade. Okay, I don't have it on because I don't have a TV on, so I can't see everything. Right? And I'm trying to do the best I can here with what I got. That makes tonight's game more interesting, seeing how things are going to play out. To be honest with you, it does. It does make things a little more interesting to see how it's going to play out and what's going to happen. Right? I hit the wrong button. Oh, well. Yes, I know I can make changes to the video while it's live, but I don't want to. For a defenseman from Nashville, okay. That was probably a pick. Well, I don't know. They're kind of up on the cap, so I don't know. I don't have NHL Network on. Right now, all we know is that what's been reported, we don't have any news. Apparently, according to ESPN 101, and I wish I could get Jordan Deeks on. I should message her. Oh, she's busy. I'm not going to message her game day. She's busy. Maybe after. Part of the reason the offer is higher for Parayko is he's at a dollar Fenry contract for 4 more years. And yeah, but Bennington's at a for a goalie, $6 million for a starting goalie. That's friendly, and he's still got a year. Still got a year. He's overpaid at 6'5". I don't think so. I think that's for a big defenseman. Now he doesn't use his body like I like him to use it, but yeah. Average salary, but only 1 year. Yeah. Parayko, I think for a defenseman, 6'5", I don't think he's overpaid for that. I don't at all. I think the signing of getting Broberg the extension made Parayko expendable. That was sarcasm guy, now Benner at 6. Okay. Well, how am I supposed to say? How am I supposed to know that that's sarcasm? Right? Unless you put emojis and I can't see them all the time, I don't know that's sarcasm, Matt. Find any goalie at 6'5", that's worth a damn. I think he's worth a damn at 6'5". I think Bennington's issues are not what we think they are. I really don't. I don't. And again, you look at when a team plays in front of him, look what he can do. Now, Jim said his numbers weren't great at the I think they were pretty damn good. Right? I think they were pretty damn good. You should already have it, Lance, but I'll send you a new one. Copy. I think I copied it. Find a Lance. Where's Lance? Lance. Lance. It's so hard to do this and produce it at the same time. There you go, buddy. There you go. On Messenger. Right? I just think we as fans like to we as fans sometimes just like to we bitch. We like to be angry. We don't like to be happy. Right? And Blankenberg for a 5th round pick. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a minor trade. That's a minor trade. 5th round pick, that's nothing. Right? That's nothing. If you watched last night, what did you think of the interview with Jim Thomas? Did you enjoy it? Because I might have another one coming up with another somewhat St. Louis media royalty. Right? See, Matt Lowe, I disagree with that. Now, do I wish? Let me say this. Do I wish it was Falk? Yes, I wish it was Falk. Are you going to get 2 number 1s for Falk? No, you're not. So getting the number 8th overall pick and then a pick in your wheelhouse, because that's where Seattle's going to be, in your wheelhouse, I'm taking that. Right? Okay. Not Justin, but someone, a great friend of this show, great friend of mine, great friend of yours. It's Mr. Lance. Hey, Lance, how you doing, buddy?
Not too bad, how are you?
Feeling good, my friend?
Yeah, 50-50.
50-50. Well, it's better than 20-80, man.
Yep.
Look, when I say Bennington's worth 3 number 1s, I don't mean 3 first-round picks. I mean the equivalent of 3 number 1 picks. And that's what Parayko's getting. Parayko's getting 2 number 1s. Yes, Parayko has a team-friendly deal for 4 more years, but Bennington, Parayko doesn't get you a Stanley Cup. Bennington gets you a Stanley Cup. And I think that's the way that someone has to look at it.
Well, I think he's worth more than what people are saying. You know, like you said earlier, what's his face said that I think Jim Thomas said that Bennington didn't play well. Damn, he had a 1.78 goals against, and I think his save percentage was 917 or 918.
Yeah.
One thing, if you want to judge a goalie, that's a great way to judge him. If he goes to the Olympics, if he goes to anything outside of the NHL and plays a game and you noticed a huge difference, chances are his team most nights is not playing well enough in front of him for him to be successful.
And I did that. You could absolutely get a first for Falk. You could get 1. You're not going to get 2.
No.
You're not going to get 2. And if we can trade Falk for another number 1, that's 3 number 1 picks from two defensemen. I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Colton has shot his way into being traded by not shooting. I'll agree with that. With the best defense in the world, he was decent. He was better than decent. I mean, he was a lot better than decent, right? The one bad game that Canada had, that was with the Swayman, right? That was with Swayman. Did Swayman give it like 3 goals or something along those lines? Wasn't that like the one game that they were close to losing or something along those lines?
Yeah, I think in the play-in and all that, they
During the round robin.
round robin,
Right.
I think it's 3 or 4 goals.
Yeah, but Bennington, I don't just he was good. 917 DC, especially when Hellebuck was 950. Yeah, I get that, but
So with that logic, you're telling me a guy that has a 1.78 goals against and a 917 because somebody else outplayed him in that league or in that tournament, he's not a good goalie. That's ridiculous.
Canada didn't have the best defense, maybe offensively, but as defenders, no, I'll agree with that too. I think the U.S. had the better defense. I think the U.S.
had the better defensive defenseman, and Canada had the better offensive defenseman.
Yeah. Hey, Justin, how you doing, buddy?
What's going on?
Did you hear? Have you been watching since the beginning, or did you come in late?
Nope. I was catching up with an old buddy, so I was out. So
Okay.
No, I haven't listened.
I said a couple of things, and I want you to hear them, so I'm going to go back. First of all, the tease I used today was yours. That was freaking perfect, man. You saved me that energy. I used your tease. I hope you're okay with that.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I even if you told me even if you didn't say that you did, I would have never knew because I never looked. So, but yeah, that's good that you that I saved you some time there.
See, this is the struggle I have when it comes to stats. It's ESPN Plus and on Amazon Prime. I don't know if it's on Amazon Prime. I know it's on Hulu. Andrea, you can have it on when you can have the show and show all your Blues fans there. Tell them to come watch the BlueNote Fan Report, man. Get us on there. Andrea is at the game. Look for her. She'll be behind the bench with Blues pom-poms, right? Look for her. Okay. Worst goalie in the league among starters by far. By stats, yeah. But do you think Bennington is the worst goalie in the league? Is Bennington the worst goalie in the league?
No.
Right? If you had to rank Bennington 1 to 32, where would you put him? I'm going to ask Lance this first. Lance, you're a former goalie. You've got a good idea on this. What do you think?
I think
1 to 32, where would Bennington fall?
I think he's between 8th and 10th in the league.
8 and 10. Okay.
Yep.
What about you, Justin?
And we're taking into account every starting goalie in the NHL.
Yeah.
Let's see. Honestly, I'd have to honestly agree with more of Lance's take. I mean, and hell, I could possibly. There's even a good case for me that I could put him even a little higher. I don't think.
No, he froze there for a second. See if he comes back. Matt Lowe says, I believe his trade sack will never be higher than it is after the Olympics. If we're trading Colts, ship Benner's ass off. Matt Lowe, wow, you're mean, man. You just do not like Bennington at all. I think Bennington, if you ranked him 1 to 32, would be in that 8 to 12 range. That's where I'd put him. Right? You know, I think he'd be 8 to 12. Now, I mentioned it last night. Can you hear me, Lance?
Yeah.
Did you catch the show last night by any chance?
No, buddy. I've been asleep for 2 days straight because I wasn't feeling good.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, my friend.
Sorry.
Yeah, me, you know, depression hit me upside the head, and I wish I could have slept for 2 days.
Yeah,
to be honest with you.
that.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. So he ruined the whole season. He's the reason we're trading Thomas and these other guys.
Nope.
That's not true.
That's
Man,
insane.
no, come on, bud.
The reason you're trading the other guys is because you're going to get value for them. Parayko is who he is. He's not going to win you a cup. Putting Colton Parayko off that team does not, in my mind, make them a terrible team. Though they have to fill that hole for him, yes. Yes, they definitely do. But for years now, ever since he came into the league, his coaches, his assistant coaches have told him, shoot, 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 shoot. You have a 95-mile-an-hour shot. Shoot, shoot, shoot the puck. And instead, not only will he not shoot the puck, but sometimes his defense isn't good. I mean, if your defense isn't going to be good, you've got to be able to contribute in another way. And he, in my mind, and he said it before, I would prefer to give the puck to somebody else. Well, that's a great mindset, but you need to help your team by shooting more. Maybe they'll get him to do that in Buffalo if he goes to Buffalo.
Well, I think in Buffalo, Buffalo would look at him more for his defensive prowess than his offensive shot, because Buffalo doesn't use their defense as much.
I've been seeing online all the articles about this, and everybody's saying he's a big, tough, strong, physical defenseman.
No, he's not.
Parayko is not. He's big and he's strong. Don't get me wrong, but he's not a physical defenseman.
No, he's not. He's a cupcake. Hey, Justin, you cut out. Where did you? I put Bennington because you cut out. I put Bennington in the 8 to 12 range.
I was kind of I was pretty similar to that. I said like 7 to 11, maybe somewhere in there for me.
So Benner has declined every single year. Sick of hearing you guys stick up for him. He's got an 850 percentage this year.
Oh, hang on. I want to take this comment. Sorry, guy. I haven't been here. I'm going to take this one. I am not sticking up for Bennington. I was the first on this show, no offense, guy, to talk about Jordan Bennington being moved. And I'm still in favor of that. I think he's a good goalie. And I think anyone who says that he's not a good goalie is lying to themselves. I am still in favor of it. So this notion that I'm sticking up for it, I'm not. I know Lance is not, and I know Guy is not. We're showing what we've seen on the ice, and Jordan Bennington is a good goalie. He's not some has-been. He's still a great goalie.
Yeah.
Numbers just haven't shown it.
There have been goalies that haven't played real good, like Grubauer that won a cup.
Mm-hmm.
But Bennington's not one of those guys. Without Jordan Bennington in that series against the Bruins, that series does not go 4 or 5 games. It doesn't go 5 games. It doesn't.
Yeah, I agree. Right?
Big goalies show up at big times, and that's what Jordan Bennington may have a game 2 or 3, 4 where he allows in 4 or 5 goals when probably 3 of them weren't his fault. But when it's time to show up, when it's big, he shows up. And you can't say that about all 32 starting goaltenders.
No, you can't.
I'm with you, right?
Jordan Bennington.
8 years ago, Lance. It's not just 8 years ago. Mello, I get the fucking numbers. And I'm sorry, man. I'm trying. I get numbers. I get it. But numbers don't show everything.
Nope.
They do not.
Let me ask you this real quick. If somebody who likes hockey, knows hockey, but had never heard of Grant Fuhr on Edmonton, or had never heard of Ken Dryden, never heard of guys like that, and Curtis Joseph, so on and so forth, and you looked at some of their numbers at some seasons, you would think, this guy's not a winning goaltender. Look at Grant Fuhr. His goals against was 3.84. There's no way his team was successful. But you got to look beyond the numbers and the stats.
Yeah. Well, also a little bit of a different time than it is now.
Yeah, it was.
Apparently, Bennington didn't show up in the Olympics.
If he didn't show up during the Olympics, I would hate to see it if he did show up. He wouldn't allow to go the whole time.
Bennington, look, Bennington was not bad in the Olympics. in Four Nations, Bennington was absolutely outstanding in Four Nations. He was great in Four Nations. He was good in the Olympics. He wasn't great. He was good.
I honestly think Matt Lowe's just trying to spin me up. I really do. I think he is, and he wins.
He is.
He wins. I think he's trying to spin me up. He wins. He did it. Way to go, Matt Lowe. Give him some applause.
For me, like I said, I think, we still talk about this. I still think Bennington's a good goalie, but I'm still in favor of getting something for him. And I know that that's not a popular decision, probably maybe for you, Lance, especially. I'm in favor.
I don't mind it as long as they improve and they make the team better.
Yeah.
I'm a Bennington fan. It's like when Curtis Joseph left. Yeah, I was very upset, but I wasn't too upset about the team. And people need to realize good goalies get traded all the time. Good goalies go elsewhere. Terry Sawchuk went elsewhere. Grant Fuhr went elsewhere.
Yeah.
You've got guys like who was I just thinking of? Damn it. Who was I just thinking? Oh, Bobrovsky, when he played for Philadelphia, he was traded to Columbus for a second-round pick and 2 fourth-round picks. And then he signs with Florida and he wins 2 Stanley Cups.
Yeah.
Guys, good goalies get traded all the time.
Yeah, and you just go right there. Sorry, Justin.
No,
you go right there. So you go right there and you talk about, in Columbus, he didn't have a team around him.
No.
When Bennington had an offensive team around him that put pucks in the back of the net. So, did great. The Blues are a shitty defensive team. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. They are an absolutely horrible defensive team because they're a shitty offensive team. If they're not holding the puck, if they're not scoring goals, you're taking 40 shots a game. You're going to let some in. Okay, Justin, your turn.
There's a little bit to take back on that one. Like, for me, going off of what you just said, by the way, puck drop.
Is it?
Yes. Oh, it should be. I don't know if you might have to reset it or something. But for me, Bennington is the defense. Let's talk about the defense. I'm not going to really agree with that fully because the Blues have not given up that crazy amount of shots against like they have in recent years. Like recent years, we're talking about backdoor tap-ins. We're talking about this and that, like Bennington, Hofer left out to dry kind of thing. That's not happened as much as it has the past couple seasons. The Blues are averaging 20 shots or 20 something shots against. Usually they're easily in the 36, 35 shots against. They're not in that category right now. So I don't particularly agree that they're not a good defensive team.
I just went off. I think the reason the defense looks as bad as it does, Seattle already scored.
Yep, Seattle scored. Jaden Squirts on the rebound.
And there's talk about
another reason why a lot of people realize this. The reason that the defense looks so bad, and I wouldn't say they're good, but I wouldn't say they're terrible, is because they get behind so much in games where the defense has to come up in the offensive play, which causes you to give up 2-on-3s, 2-on-nones, and breakaways and stuff like that. So that's when the scoring has a lot to do with the defense.
Yep, and that was on Bennington. That goal right there was on Bennington.
Yeah, it was. I'll agree with that. He should have had that.
Well, is Bennington? Oh, you know what? I guess I might have misread it. I thought it was Hofer in net. I don't know why I thought that.
No, it's Bennington.
Yeah, I mean the rebound. Yeah, probably could have been better played. But it's okay. Still early in the game. But yeah, I think for the defense, it's not as bad as everyone thinks it is, but it's not as great as everyone thinks it is. Obviously, it's an aging defensive core. It's not.
It is Hofer in net. My bad. It is Hofer in net. I thought I saw 50.
I thought Bennington was starting tonight too.
Yeah,
So did I.
I was thinking it was Hofer. I was like, that's number 30.
My bad. I thought I saw 50. I thought Bennington was starting tonight.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the defense could be better. The defense could be a lot worse though. But I think for me, the Colton Parayko aspect of the whole trading thing is interesting because obviously we didn't really talk about Parayko when we were giving our suggestions, but he would be a guy that I wouldn't be surprised, traded. It wouldn't be surprising to me.
I think Bennington or the Parayko is a trade of opportunity, right? I'm sure that there were other names talked and discussed, and then Buffalo's GM said, "Well, okay, none of that's working. Well, what about this? What do you want for Parayko?" And Armstrong went, "Well, he's got a no trade clause. I get it. Let's just talk out here. If he would possibly waive it, what would you want for him?" And maybe he goes 3 first-round picks. I don't know. He's 3 first-round. Obviously, you're going to want more, right? You're selling something. If you're selling something you want more for it than it's worth, right? So, and I think that those discussions came down. It came down to okay, well, you'll get our number 8 overall last year, and then our number 1 top 7 this year. What do you think? Protected this year, and at that point, okay, now you've got me intrigued. My problem with this whole thing is reporters have zero accountability. If a trade like this could be another Torrey Krug situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it comes down, if let's say I'm a beat reporter and I have some contacts and I get told, hey, there's this deal possibly in place that's got this, and this. And I go, well, that player has got a no trade. Does he know about it yet? You okay, Lance?
Yeah, I'm okay.
He's got a no trade. Well, does he know about it yet? Well, if the answer is I don't know or no, then I'm not reporting it. I'm not reporting it. Middle of the tier goalies 8 to 19 are Bennington, Wedgwood, Gustafson, Logan Thompson, Blackwood, Markstrom, Wolf, Allmark, Spencer Knight, Luukkonen, Merkless, Corpusalo. I'd agree with those lists. I would. Unfortunately, with Bennington, the numbers and the eye test lie a little bit. Because what happens is you see the goals go in, so you blame Bennington for all the goals going in, and you don't see everything else. And that's just kind of how I look. And by the way, the other thing that I talked about, Justin, that you didn't get to hear me say was, I think one of the reasons that Parayko is on that trade block, and you said this right from like the second game of the season. You took a look at Broberg during the Calgary game, and you said he's going to be our number 1 really soon. And I think that that's what's happening. I think that everyone's seeing it. Broberg had an amazing game last game with Falk, and I don't think Falk had a good game.
Yeah, I mean, Broberg's your guy that you got to bank on. You signed him. With Broberg, everything with Broberg, I've seemed to, like I said, not give myself an ego boost here, but I've seemed to hit everything on the head pretty much when it comes to Broberg. I mean, everything. Him signing, the reason he signed, the fact that I think that the Blues have really high hopes for Broberg and they really value him at a high pace, especially way more than Edmonton did. So I think that I don't know if he's going to be the exact number 1, but I think you're looking at him probably being the number 1 with how he's played since coming over from Edmonton. It's hard for me not to say that he isn't in that category because although I love Parayko, I think Broberg's been the most consistent defenseman all year. I think he's been pretty good. I think he's way better in games than he is bad in games. And I think the things that he struggles with are, sometimes he's not best positionally, but I think a lot of it has to do with maybe Parayko slacking a little bit, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Aaron Nell brings up a really good. I wonder what it feels like with all these trade rumors. Like, if I was in RT's shoes, I wonder how he feels. I want to answer that a little bit, and I'm going to bring in my favorite soccer TV show into this. and that's Ted Lasso, and season 3, right? It's poopy, and that's how he's going to look at it. It's poopy, 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 poopy. I am absolutely certain that when all this stuff comes up, that either Doug Armstrong or Alexander Steen goes down and talks to these players and tells them what they're doing, for the most part. For the most part. Now, not always, but I think when you have some of your players, you have to do that. I will say something that really surprised me was in the movie Moneyball. Right? I don't know if you've seen it, and I don't know how close it was to real life, but even in the book, because I didn't read the whole book, but I did read some of it. Sorry. Billy Beane did a lot of those trades without consulting players, and he wanted nothing to do with players because he didn't want to get attached to them in case he had to trade them. I don't think that Armstrong or Steen are that type of guy. Lance, you want to respond to that?
No, I don't think they're that type of guy. Not
Say
at
again?
all. No, I don't think they're that type of GM. No, I don't think he
Right.
is. I don't think Steen is that way either. I think it is what it is, and if the players need to know something, they'll talk to the players. If they don't need to know something, they won't tell the players. Guys, and we're sitting here talking about Broberg, who they signed, and I'm going to tell you right now, they're having a hard time coming to an agreement with Holloway. That's why he's not been signed. He wants a lot more than what they're willing to offer right now.
Well, but
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I can
His
see
agent
that.
wants 7 to 8, and the Blues want to be at 5 to 5.5, 6.
that's where I'd want to be. 5.5.
Yeah, I mean,
6.
Yeah.
I mean,
For
5.5 to
4 years. I'd go 4 years at 6. Sorry, Justin.
Yeah.
Now, I love that. I love that term, and I love that type of contract that the Blues are wanting there. Now we may be talking a little bit different. Maybe I would probably still feel the same way because I think it's a great contract if you can pull it off. But if Holloway was healthy for the whole time that he's been here, I feel like you could possibly make an argument that you could give him that. But maybe even then, though,
that's
I don't.
exactly what the agent is telling the Blues, or what the Blues are telling his agent. Hey, if it had been healthy all this time and been scoring like he did last year, we may extend that a little bit. But he's got an injury history, and we cannot give that much of a risk for a guy that's been injured this much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I like Holloway. I would love Holloway to be a part of this core for this team when they're good. But like I said, I do think that 7 for a guy that is injury prone is a lot to ask. And like I said, I knew coming into this offer sheet kind of thing that we were getting some good players, but I figured that it was going to be a lot harder to acquire or to extend Holloway than it was to extend Broberg, because all Broberg wanted was a chance, and the Blues gave him a chance. Holloway was a different story. So Broberg wanted to stay here because the Blues gave him a shot, and I knew that's exactly why he wanted to stay here. Holloway, I think, was told that the Edmonton Oilers were going to match him, but then they ended up not doing that. So they kind of screwed him over in that situation. But I like Holloway, but I don't think he's worth $7 million, especially with his history or with his injury history.
No, I think they're offering him like a 3 or 4 year deal at around 5 or so. Which
I could bump that to 6.
Just tell the guy, we'll give you a 3-year, $5.3 million deal, and if you're no longer injury prone and you're putting up the numbers like you did before your injury, we will gladly extend you.
Logan Mailloux again. Logan Mailloux with another goal.
Isn't it hilarious how Logan Mailloux now has more goals than Bolduc after the Montreal fans at the first of the season went nuts saying he was a 40, 50 goal scorer?
You know what, Lance, and I'm telling you, I know you listen to this show. I know you do. I know you listen when you can. But the trade with Bolduc, and we talked about it. This was always going to come down to how it's going to pan out. This was always going to be like, how is this going to develop? Like, how is Logan Mailloux going to develop? And that's going to be our judge of who actually won that trade. Now, as a fan, someone in media, I am completely under the understanding that teams can both win. Like, you don't have to have a trade where one team loses and one team wins. Just look at the Ryan O'Reilly thing. Tage Thompson is great, and we won a cup out of it. So both teams won, but most fans don't understand that both teams can win a trade.
Yeah, sure.
So, but I think I don't think Mailloux's going to be a top defenseman for this team.
No,
like a top pairing defenseman, but I think he can be a serviceable second pair defenseman.
Yeah,
but I guarantee he's going to be a third guy.
Yeah, he can be a 3 or 4, I think.
You know where I'd like to see Mailloux play, and I don't think he's played there yet, but I think he will start playing there next year. Power play 2. I'd like to see him on the power play.
I heard a little bit. Well, that spot will be open, especially if someone like Parayko is gone.
Yeah. Well, Parayko doesn't play the power play anymore. It's Falk
and Broberg, which I love that they put. Which I love that they put Broberg. Well. Also that will open it up too, because I mean, technically though, if they're trading Parayko, you got to think that they're not going to trade Falk. But I feel like Falk is your most obvious choice to be moved.
Yeah, I think
so. I mean, are you looking at?
They're still working on that. They haven't stopped trying to trade Justin Falk.
Yeah.
So you got to be thinking, if Parayko goes and Falk goes, you're definitely opening up an opportunity for Mailloux to get power play time.
Yep.
Does Mailloux have more goals than?
I thought he had 4, and I thought Bolduc had 3.
I think that was his. Wasn't that Mailloux's second goal? I think that was only his second goal, right? That was only his second goal, I think. He has assist.
Give me a second. I'm gonna look it up.
Ooh. Very good try there. Blues are picking it up after a pretty slow start in the first 5 minutes of this game, but they're picking it up.
Yep.
Bolduc's got 10 goals this year.
Yeah, a lot of them though. I think on the power play. A lot of them though on the power
he's
play.
got a lot on the power play.
Yeah. So no, he has 10 goals.
Yeah. I've been out of it lately, guys.
But it doesn't matter though, because what you said, Lance, has value anyways, because Bolduc has been ice cold. He's been as cold as the freezer pop that's been in the freezer for 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been ice cold. So I loved all the cockiness from the Montreal fans. Like I said, don't get me wrong. We talk about this now. We're acting like Bolduc's not a good player. Bolduc is a good player, but most people didn't understand that a lot of his strength last year came from the power play, and it came from guys like Robert Thomas dishing him the puck.
Yep.
So most people don't really understand that. They think, oh, well, he scored this many goals, he's going to be a great player. But yeah, power play is fantastic, but when you have a great player like Robert Thomas dishing you passes, it's going to be easy for you. So,
yeah, but when you look at a guy you want to pick up, and he's an offensive guy, you got to look up a couple different things. Can he create offense on his own? And that's a big deal. Or does he need other guys to dish him the puck? A guy who can create offense on his own, plus get dished the puck and put the biscuit in the net. Those guys are great. So, yeah, when they look at a trade, they look at it, okay, does this guy need somebody to dish him the puck, or can he create his own goals?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I absolutely believe it. And for me, and now that I'm thinking about this, we're talking about Parayko. We didn't talk about it as much because it wasn't like really on our mind. We were mostly talking about the main suspects, the Shins, the Falks. Everything like that. But, who knows? Maybe we're looking at a thing where we're talking about Jordan Kyrou and Thomas just staying with this team, and we're going to get rid of these, these older pieces like Parayko, like Falk, and we're going to just continue to get younger and hope that this team just really over exceeds expectations, maybe. And we still keep Robert Thomas and Jordan Kyrou. I mean,
you know what? Armstrong said that last year. We're going to get younger. Then he made some moves where I don't know about getting younger there, but at and when it comes to trades, the trades he has made have been to get younger guys, and then he has signed older free agents. So he signed experience and he's traded for youth. At least that's what I think. Am I wrong, Lance?
Well,
No, you're right. And another thing is that people aren't thinking of. Can you imagine? We'd be in a much worse situation. And I don't like to see guys get hurt, but if Torrey Krug would have never gotten hurt and had played through this contract healthy, the Blues, I think, would have a much harder time moving guys and moving other guys because of their cap situation.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying be happy because Krug is retiring and on LTIR, but that has really helped this team out. It really has.
Oh, absolutely. I absolutely believe that. I think I even said it. I said that if Torrey Krug was still on this team with his contract hit, this Blues team would look drastically different than where it's at. Because if you have Krug, you're likely not going after. You're likely not getting Broberg. You're likely not getting Holloway. So you're looking at a completely different team. You're not looking at like a Suter on this team. Like you're looking at a completely different trajectory, I think, for this team.
Yeah. No, that's I think the fact that Krug ended up on LTIR is the reason you were able to sign those.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because you look at what you signed him for, that was Krug's money.
That was
you used Krug's money. $4 and $2 million, $6 million to sign him.
So
right?
And I know we're getting younger, and we're trying to build them. We're trying to keep Robert Thomas. We're trying to keep Jordan Kyrou the best we can. So, yeah, the way I'm thinking about this is, you have Dalibor Dvorsky, you have Jimmy Snugger. You're going to have Justin Carpenter, who I think is going to be an absolute great addition to this team. Because from what I saw just from the, what is it? What the hell is it called? From camp alone. I loved what I saw from Justin Carpenter. I think that kid is going to embody everything St. Louis Blues. Just a blue collar guy. He seems to have definitely some skill to him. I think Adam Yurchek's going to be coming up through the ranks here. I think he's going to be a great defenseman. And if you're getting this supposed defenseman from Buffalo, supposedly he's supposed to be
Stenberg.
Yes. Well, yes, you have Stenberg. You could possibly, where you land at in this draft, you can possibly get his brother. So you have Ivar maybe. But you have so many young guys coming through the system. Like I said, Adam Yurchek, I think, is going to come there. And if you're getting this defenseman from this Parayko deal, if he's as good as everyone says he's going to be, and he could be the next type of Parayko player because he's a big guy, 6'6", I believe.
You talking about Owen Power?
No, the
no, it's Prospect. He's 18 years old.
The guy they picked last year.
Yeah, last year. So if that guy can, and that's a big what if. That's been my issue. See, I know that I kind of play hypocritical here because I say I don't want to see Robert Thomas traded for prospects because that's a maybe. Robert Thomas plays such a crucial position that giving up centers for a chance at a guy panning out is just not good to me because I think it sets back your franchise. I think you keep Robert Thomas, you try to build around him, continue to build around him like you have. Obviously, things need to change. But I think your change is happening with a Parayko move, with the Falk move, with the Shin move, with the Bennington move. I think those are crucial enough to change your core enough.
I will tell you that around half the teams in this league see Robert Thomas as a strong 2C. They do not see him as a 1C. They've looked at his stats, and yes, he's been injured over 8 years. Robert Thomas has averaged 53.8 points a season in his 8 years. That's not elite. That's not a number one center. He's been injured. Yeah, some things have happened. So, Blues fans think he's this top elite, top 5 center. And around the league, half the teams don't think of him that way. They think of him as a 2C that can come up and play the 1C when you need him to. And, that's the way it is. And another thing is about Bennington, people that are upset about Bennington being traded, his contract's up after next year. They're not bringing him back. So either you trade him now or you trade him in the season, in the summer, or at that next year's trade deadline. He's going to be gone. He's not in the playing for this team.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly what I've been saying, right, Guy? That Bennington is not signing with this team. Bennington is not going to sign with this team. So you need to move for assets. But and Lance, you bring up a good point. Going back a little bit, that's one also a reason I don't want to get rid of Robert Thomas, because yes, he's our number one center, and yes, but he's not valued as that to most teams. And yeah, you could get a haul for him. And although I understand that, but I'm sorry. If I'm getting a guy, I want a guy that can actually step in and play competitively now. And I know that's a lot to ask, but I'm sorry. I just can't take a risk of losing a center that is our best center and the hope and hoping that a prospect pans out, because a prospect is not guaranteed. They're not guaranteed to work out. So I get it. It's kind of the circle. Well,
Thomas's guys.
What just happened right here? Hofer just got hit. Oh, that's a penalty. Hofer just got tripped or whatever.
Thomas can still get better. Even though he's 26 years old, he can still get better. And his upside is much bigger than his downside.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, I want to preface something here. So you stated that Thomas overall is a 50 average 53 points per season.
Yep.
That's true. However, that statement is misleading. That stat is misleading, right? Because part of this, you got to remember, you've got the 21 season, the COVID season, where you only had 50-something games. He only played 30 in that. 20 was a shortened season. He played 66 games there. Right, so that's 2 seasons right there that he has shortened, and then this season.
Well, let's say you give him 20 more goals because of circumstances. 20 more goals. That's still 58.6 points a season.
Well, I think I think it's more than just 20 goals. I think you're probably looking at possibly another 40 points, 40 to 60
it's like
points.
I told you guys at the beginning of the season when we were talking about Thomas.
Yeah,
Robert Thomas will never be a consistent 100-point center. He won't. He just won't.
He's good. He's very good, but he's just on that top tier, right below the best. And I think his best season, the 80-point season that he had, I think that's what his best is going to be. I love the guy. I don't want to trade him, but guys, sometimes you make trades for more than just one reason. And this team needs shaken up. I'm just afraid if they stand pat, we're going to see something very similar next year.
I don't think we're completely standing pat, but I also think. That was close.
And I don't want to see a Sundqvist move or this move or that move. Guys, if you're going to trade somebody that makes a difference.
Right. Thomas in his career up to this game, not counting this game, averages 0.84 points per game. Right now, if I could go back to his first game, and if I go back to his first game and looked at every player in the league and what their points per game was, every forward and defenseman, I'm guessing that 0.84 is in the top 40. Top 50 at the lowest. Would you? I mean, is that possible, or am I way off here? Because I think his first game, I think he was on he played 70 of 82 games in 19. I think that his first game was probably. I'm going to look at when his first game was. I can go game by game.
Wasn't it in the playoffs against?
No, I'm looking at the playoffs. This is regular season.
Oh, okay.
His playoffs don't count. And if he did play in the playoffs, no, he wouldn't have played in the playoffs the year before because we missed the playoff.
Yeah.
Robert Thomas. I know I know I can go game by game. I just got to find it. Got to find the game by game stat here for that season. 2018-19 team game log. Here we go. Might have to look at it. See if he played against Winnipeg. Winnipeg.
I mean, well, and color
Oh, yeah.
well, I kind of. Sorry, go ahead, guy.
So I think his first regular season game was the first game of the 2019 season, right? So if I go, I'm going to, I know how to break the stat. It's going to take me a few minutes, but I'm going to break the stat. Points per player, points per game per player, going back to the start of the 18-19 season. Lance might not be feeling good. And I want
Might I add?
Falls in that.
Yeah.
Say again.
No, I just was talking about. I was talking about this game. Seattle. I'm telling you right now. I'm just watching right now, and this is why I a little off topic. This is why I kind of cater this season as an anomaly, because I look at a team like Seattle, who everyone expected to be bad, and kind of bottom of the barrel. They're over exceeding expectations. I'm telling you right now. This is just from me seeing them play, because I think this is the third meeting that we've seen these guys. Yeah, this is the third meeting. I'm telling you right now, this team makes the playoffs. This team is getting absolutely demolished. I don't know who they would end up playing. They would probably be coming in near the wild card spots. So like they would probably be playing like Vegas, Colorado. This team is going to get absolutely torched because they're not great defensively. I can just see that already.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use the first. I'm going to use from 18-19 and go that way. Okay. From 18-19, I'm going to use that stat and go that way. So give me a moment. I'm going to kind of look it up here, because I think that Robert Thomas is undervalued, and I think Lance undervalued him.
Well, I'll be honest. I'm with Lance. I don't think Robert Thomas is a consistent 100-point guy every season. I don't. I think he's a great player. I think he is perfectly capable of even hitting 90 points. But I don't think he's a consistent 100-point guy. I think that there could be a season where he does get 100 points, but it would be one season. It would not be multiple seasons like in a row. I don't think he's a consistent.
I think given the right situation, I think he could have multiple seasons in a row. Given the right situation.
Well, and I'm thinking about this now, but also, and how I was saying how you get you make the changes. You're looking at, you got to look at the prospect of who these guys are playing with. Dude, there's no one better to be playing with Jimmy Snuggerud than Robert Thomas. Robert Thomas is going to set that man up with some great passes, and hopefully he continues to grow. That is Snuggerud, of course. Blues going to the box for hold here. Blues have played a pretty good period here. After Seattle scored, it's pretty much been...
I wasn't that far off. I was not that far off. So going back to the beginning of the 18-19 season, which I think was Robert Thomas, and I'm looking at games played. Got him at 509. I think that's right where his number is. I'd have to go, but let me look. Robert Thomas, 509. So that's absolutely right. So I have every game Robert Thomas has played.
Goes to the box for holding. We got about 3:30 left in the period.
Yeah. I don't think Lance will be back, but hold on. Flip this over to this. Okay, so going back to the beginning of the 18-19 season, covering the 509 games that Robert Thomas has played, he has a 0.85 points per game, right? Where do you think that one to whatever the number is, that he falls in the line? Where would you put him? Where would 0.85 put him?
What do you mean 0.85?
Say again?
What do you mean 0.85? What do you mean?
That's just points per game. 0.85 points per game.
What is it? Put on. I don't even know. I couldn't tell you, bud. I'm not even going to guess, to be honest.
He is tied. What did I said? I said 40, right? I said 50.
No,
40.
you said 50 something.
Yeah, in the 50s,
so.
right? That's right. He is tied for 64th. Tied for 64th. I don't think I haven't looked to see. I could probably see where the Blues are in that. I could do that out with the Blues. I'm pretty sure I can. Yeah, I can do that. So I'm going to look at the same for the Blues, right? And actually, I'm going to do something else here real quick after I do this one. I'm going to make one more change. So on the Blues. So along with the Blues, he would be 4th, with two of the players above him no longer being here, and the other one being his line mate, Pavel Buchnevich, at 0.86.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now I'm going to go back and we're going to look through one more thing. All franchises.
Kraken, Blues doing a pretty good job killing off this power play, keeping Kraken on the outside. 20 seconds left to go on this power play here.
20 seconds. I got it over already. I must be way ahead of you.
Clearly.
Yeah, I'm at 115.
I hate ESPN. I hate it.
Right? Okay. So, centers. Where would Robert Thomas fall out among just centers in the league? Right?
Mm-hmm.
He'd be tied for 31st with Rizal and Duchesne. He'd be ahead of guys like Pavelski and Hurdle and Kopitar and O'Reilly. O'Reilly's only a 0.82. Tage Thompson, 0.81. Rope Hintz, 0.81. Guys that would be slightly ahead of him would be Suzuki, 0.86. RNH, 8.7. Larkin, 8.6. Reinhardt, 9.1. Schulte, 9.2. Bergeron, 9.2. Bedard, who, small sample size, 0.93. I'm sorry, he's right. 33rd, 30. That's a number one center to me.
Well, and I think for me, like I said, I'm with Lance a little bit on certain things. Like I do think that a lot of teams value him as a number one center, but it depends on what team you're talking about. Is Robert Thomas the number one center on Edmonton? No. Is Robert Thomas the number one center on Colorado? No. Is he the number one center on the Dallas Stars? No. It's all about the team. Is he the number one center for the Seattle Kraken? I think he's the number one center for the Seattle Kraken. Do I think he's the number one center for the Vancouver Canucks? Yes, I do. So it's all about the team.
For more teams than he isn't.
Well, yeah, because you have to look. I mean, you look at it though. You look at that certain teams, playoff wise. Most of the teams in the playoffs probably not, but there is a few in there that would be like, oh, I could see him as a number one. But see, the thing is you don't have to convince me. That's the thing. You don't have to convince me because I've taken the stance that I don't want to trade Robert Thomas, and I think trading him is a stupid decision, especially for prospects. And let me tell you, I know that I said that. I know that I said that Parayko, trading him for this prospect that supposedly is going to be good is okay for me, but it's different. Parayko is a guy that's getting older. I don't think he's been our best defenseman all year. I think he's been serviceable. He does his thing defensively, but he's a guy that you're going to have to move on from eventually. Broberg's your future. Mayhew's your future. Adam Yurchek's your future. So I'm okay moving on with him. But parting ways with a center that can put 60 assists on the board, no, I'm sorry. I'm not giving that up. Who is consistently playing at a 50% or more face-off percentage? No, I'm sorry. I'm not giving that up just for prospects, just for the chance of them to work out. I'm not. Sorry. That's not happening.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you on that, right? I am with you. What my point was, first of all, the list. So I was looking at Robert Thomas's career. So from starting in 2018, 18-19, the first game of 2018, that 5-1 loss to Winnipeg, that was Robert Thomas's first game. Up until the last game he played, because this would be 510. This is 510th game, right? So we're not counting this up until today. Prior to today's game, he's got a 0.85 points per game, and that puts him tied for 63rd or 65th, 64th, something like that. Overall, and among centers, he's tied for 33rd. Some of these guys aren't even in the league anymore that are ahead of him, right? So, at least a couple of them. I don't know all of them. So the guys that are ahead of him. So going from 1 to 33, Connor McDavid in the league, Nathan McKinnon in the league, Leon Draisaitl in the league, Austin Matthews in the league, Celebrini in the league, small sample size but in the league, Crosby in the league, Barkov in the league but injured this season, Eichel in the league, Gunsel. I don't know, is Gunsel still in the league?
Yeah, Gensel. He's in the league.
Point in the league but injured, correct? Well, here you go. Three of these guys on this list have only four of them only have one game. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 right there. Dean Malone, Damian Guru. I don't even know who these guys are. They played one game in the league. So I probably need to clarify this as 100 games played, right? And then it would take some guys out, right? If I did that, if I did 100 games played, it would take. I don't think it would take Celebrini out. Nope. So let me do that. Let me go. I can filter. The games played, and we're going to do 100. Right? Games played greater than 100. Apply filter. There we go. So now, doing that, Thomas jumps up to 29th. Right? So, again, I think that he's, and I wonder, can I do it active player? Let's see this. Yeah, I can do it. So let's do active only. Apply filter. There we go. Let's see. So active only, does he stay at 29th? Yeah, he stays at 29th. So, and then I could go back and let's do all skaters and see where he is at all skaters now. So we took out all the 1 or 2 gamers, right? All the guys that had a few games. And he was originally 60 something, right? Rows. 100 rows. There we go. I think this is a good discussion we're having. Thomas jumps all the way up to 54th. This clarifies you got to have 100 games played since 2018-19, right? And you have to be an active player. He is 54th among active players in plus minus, or not plus minus, in points per game. Now, let's that is another thing. What's his plus minus? Where does he fall out there? I'll tell you here in a second. Probably not as high as I thought. Yeah, he drops on that. Yeah, his plus minus, he drops way down. He's not even in the top 100 in plus minus, I don't think. I hope Lance is watching. I hope he's feeling good enough that he can watch and hear what we were saying. What we did. Can't even find him now. Here we go. Oh, he's plus 46. So yeah, he's out of the top 100, I think. No, I mean, that's just kind of what I was looking at. I mean, I'm not completely an idiot, am I?
No, it was.
Say again?
I said no. I think it's good. I think it's good discussion. I think it shows the value of Robert Thomas. And like I said, for me, I don't know. It is kind of perplexing because it's like if Robert Thomas doesn't want to be out, if he does want to leave St. Louis, I mean, honestly, you can't help that. So I mean, if that is what he wants, then that's what he wants, and maybe it is best you get rid of him. But I'm sorry, like for all the fans in the Robert Thomas, get rid of him camp, just all of a sudden, we've been talking about changes. Everybody's been focusing on Jordan Kyrou, and then we literally made like a 360 complete turn or 180 turn and went to Jordan or to Robert Thomas just randomly. And everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon. Oh yeah, let's trade him because we're going to get a bunch of assets. For me, I feel like no one, like those people in that camp, I feel that they just don't pay attention. I mean, they undervalue these guys. They want things to change so bad. They want the Blues to be good. But the thing is what most fans don't realize is if you trade Robert Thomas, you're not going to be good. You're going to be bad, and you're going to be bad for a minimum of 4 years.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Well, I don't think it'll be 4 years. I think it'll be 3, 2. I think 2. I think with Carbonneau, Steinberg, Yurko, and a few others right there, I think that you're closer.
You again. I agree. I agree with you in the aspect of the future's bright. I don't agree that you're 2 years away. You're trading a center, and all the guys that you just named are not centers. So, those guys that
you're saving $8 million that you can bring a center in. You can bring in a number one center in, or you can bring a center in that $8 million that you're saving.
Centers are a dime a dozen, and you're not just going to be able to sign a number one center on the free market. It's not going to be a thing unless that person is a free agent and they want to entertain the options of offers and at that time. And yes, you have the cap space to do that, but again, yes, you have Dvorsky coming up to the system. You have Pavel, but those guys are not number one centers. The thing with number one centers, although Robert Thomas on some teams is not a number one center, he's a number one center for this team. So you can't just get rid of him and not bring a center in return. This is why I offered. No, he's a winger, which is why I said that Jordan Kyrou, if anybody of the two big fish, was more disposable because you have more wingers through the pipeline than you do centers. Which is exactly why I said Jordan Kyrou. What's up?
Number one centers are making $12 million a year now too. Yeah. Okay. And when we have Tomer for 4 more years at 8, a little over 8.
I mean, I just don't understand it. Like I said, if you want to make changes, fine. But you have 2 young guys that you just signed. Don't give up on them yet. Yes, things need to change, but your change can easily come by getting younger, by getting great acquisitions from guys like Falk, from guys like Parayko, from guys like Jordan Bennington, from guys like Shin. You could get valuable assets for all 4 of those guys. It may not be the Robert Thomas-esque return, but you're getting something for those guys.
By the way, Holloway, all you would need, and this is ridiculous, all you would need to guarantee that he plays for you next year. Are you ready for this? How much do you think that the Blues need to offer Robert Thomas to be able to, or not Robert Thomas, Dylan Holloway, to make sure that he plays next year?
Well, his agent, Lance was talking about it. His agent wants 7.
Yeah.
But the Blues want more like 5, 5.5, somewhere around there, which I think 5, 5.5 is better, which you could, honestly, if you wanted, you could maybe maybe if you were willing to, but with his injuries, you could offer him the middle of that.
How
So,
about
I
this?
mean, you could.
In order for him to play on the Blues next year, the Blues need to offer him $2.5 million. That's a qualifying offer. That's a qualifying offer. He is an RFA. He's still an RFA. Next year is his last year at RFA, meaning he can't go wherever he wants to go. Now, he can refuse to sign that, and then he can sit out a year, but I don't see that happen. Actually, no, he's not a UFA until 29-30. Oh, yeah. They can offer him 2.5, 2.6 for 4 years. Or for 3 years. And he'd almost have to take it. Right? That's a qualifying offer. So I think we get him at that five, I think 6. I'd take 6 for 3 years. Take him up to his UFA year. That's what I do with him. Take him up to his UFA year. I don't know, man. Because if you do that, then the year after you got Neighbors, and I think Neighbors, you're going to have to offer Neighbors more. So yeah, maybe stay at 5. Get him on a bridge.
For me, yeah, I mean, for me, five is a sweet spot because I think that's a good deal for Dylan Hall. I love him to be healthy. I'm not gonna shit on him like all the Edmonton haters, all the Edmonton fans will, like when they were doing the coping thing, because that's what Edmonton was doing. They were all upset that Holloway and Broberg came to the Blues and they had a great year. That was just Edmonton fans coping because they didn't like that they were playing well here and not in Edmonton.
I know.
But Holloway is injury prone. It is very well documented. He is injury prone. And that's why you can't give him really the money that he's asking for, especially $7 million. You can't pay $7 million to a guy that plays half the season.
Yeah.
You can't. It's too much money. I do think Dylan Holloway is capable of being a second line guy, but because I love the way he plays, but I think that's his downfall. I think the way that Holloway plays is the reason he's so injured. He's such a blue-collar, fast-paced worker that he gets injured a lot. You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me perfectly of a guy on this team that we already have. He is a more skilled version of Oscar Sundqvist. Absolutely a more skilled version of Oscar Sundqvist.
Yeah.
He's a guy that's blue-collar. He works hard. He shows up on every shift pretty much. And I think it's no question to anybody that he's a more skilled Oscar Sundqvist. I mean, I like Sonny, but I think Holloway's obviously has a bigger upside than Sundqvist. I mean, I think that's a give me. But
hey, can you take over for the next 5 minutes? I need a breather.
Yeah, that's fine.
Also, I need to talk to you after the show. Nothing bad.
I'm okay.
I need you to talk to you after the show. Okay?
All right. Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Um,
Don't worry about comments till I get back. Don't worry about comments till I get back. Okay?
All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we're kind of rounding and nearing the start of the second period. Honestly, a good period for the Blues. They started out slow. It started out like, oh, this might not be a promising game. And then they kind of stepped it up. And I thought for the most part, after the Kraken scored, the Blues were the better team in that period after the Kraken ended up scoring. Mayu has had himself a game. I think if I'm to pick anyone with a MVP performance in that one, and I think that's what I start doing. I might talk to Guy about that. I think it's kind of cool to give us an MVP of that period and give our thoughts on, who we thought was the most valuable guy out there for the Blues. I'm going to go with Logan Mayu. He gets the goal. I think he's been all over the ice. He's showing some Philip Broberg in him in this game. But I think the defense has done a pretty good job of keeping the Kraken to the outside. Obviously, the Kraken score that rebound goal. Unfortunate, but I know the defense will get a lot of slack for that. But overall, a good period. Uh, let's see. Do we have any other trades? I don't know if we went over here or if Guy went over it, but looks like we had Chicago and Edmonton kind of being some dance partners in this one, and we had Andrew Mangiapane sent over to the Chicago Blackhawks for a first-round pick in 2027, and Jason Dickinson and Colton Dock to Edmonton. So that's an interesting trade. I'll be honest, I'm kind of surprised Chicago got a first out of that, if I'm honest. But not too bad. Not too bad. I mean, nothing too incredibly blockbuster right there. But as for the Colton Parayko situation, I don't have any confirmation on that yet, but I do know that obviously we got to wait for the approval for Parayko. Word has it that Parayko is going to make his NTC. He's going to lift that, from what I've heard. I don't know. Like I said, I think we might look at a little bit different situation than Torrey Krug. I think Parayko might actually be willing to do that. Granted, I do think he likes playing in St. Louis, but who knows? Colton Parayko might like a chance at the playoffs with the Buffalo Sabres. No, this is an interesting prospect. Which absolutely not. First of all, this had me here, but then it didn't. So this mock trade has Robert Thomas. This is a trade between the Maple Leafs and the Blues, and this trade proposed is Robert Thomas, a 2026 first-round pick, and a 2028 second-round pick for William Nylander and Simone Benoit, which I saw Nylander in it, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting. You get a good player back. You get a winger, though, so I don't really like the fact that you are giving up a center, but you are getting an established guy in the NHL. I don't like it because, first of all, why are we giving up Robert Thomas and we're giving up a first-round pick as well? That doesn't make any sense. I believe that this is probably just a Toronto fan, being Toronto. But we're underway in the second period here. Both teams even strength. 14-10 were your shots in the first period there for the Blues. Kraken wearing their I don't know if Kraken changed these to these being their official homes or if this is technically just their third alt jerseys. But they're wearing those black color with the light up kind of feature to them. They're supposed to glow in the dark. Braden Shin with a great shot there coming in right away. That's a very good shot there by Braden Shin. Puck comes in, but puck is quickly disposed of there as the Blues just get it right back out, pushing it right back out. Thomas just mishandles it, but good pass there. Good patience by Shin. Oh, nice pass by Thomas. Oh, my goodness, man. Thomas with a great pass. Gets it over to Shin, and Shin just absolutely feathers his puck in front to Jimmy Snuggerud, and Jimmy Snuggerud just misses. Grubauer has no idea where this puck is. This was a great play. Finley. All right. Finley battling on the boards here. So it's interesting. We have Colton Parayko out, of course, but we actually have, I believe, Nathan Walker is scratched for this game.
I
Good
just think
save by
that's a West thing. I think that's a West thing.
what's up?
Nathan's not getting traded. That's just a rest thing. Let somebody else play
Oh,
type.
what a save by Hofer. Oh my goodness, what a save. I love to see this on the replay. This was wide open for the Kraken. Absolutely great save by Hofer. No, Nathan Walker's not getting traded. I'm saying he's
Oh wow, I just saw it.
scratched. He's scratched in this game. Because they're running with Finley and Sundqvist with Torpchenko, which is interesting. I'm confused by that pairing, but I guess you want to get Sundqvist some games.
Yeah.
Before you got back, Snuggerud had an absolutely glorious chance. He almost scored. Grubauer had absolutely no idea where this puck was. It was a great pass by Thomas to Shin, and then Shin gave it over to Snuggerud right in front. Tipped it, and Grubauer was lost in the sauce.
Man, what a good show today.
I was just telling our fans that Kraken are wearing their. I don't know if this is, like I said, I don't know if this is their permanent homes or if this is just the third one, but they're wearing the light up jerseys, the ones that glow in the dark, which I like. I relatively like. What's up?
I think that might be their, because normally if they wear a third jersey, the other team wears. Well, no, they wouldn't. So yeah, never mind. They might be.
Yeah, these are the ones that glow in. I like the one. I like these ones. I like the prospect of them. They're probably one of the better ones. They're better jerseys. Because I love you got with the Kraken, you have the tentacles and you have the glowing eyes. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, nice play, Mayu. Way to get that out of your skates and get control of it back again. Oh, nice hit, Neighbors.
The young guys are playing well tonight.
It's been a relatively, like I said, after Kraken there's some few chances in this period here so far, but after the goal by the Kraken, the Blues, I thought, were the better team in the first period. Oh, here they'll show the Snuggerud chance. Oh yeah, the Snuggerud chance. He had 2 chances on this puck. Grubauer had absolutely no idea where it was. You'll see this chance. And they're showing the Hofer save.
Oh, what a stick poke! What a stick poke! Wow.
Yeah. Did you see the Snuggerud chance?
Yeah.
Yeah, Snuggerud had a great chance because Grubauer was lost. If that puck was on net, you had a good opportunity.
Yeah. I'm okay, Jason.
Oh, nice pass there by Seattle to get that puck in.
Chris said size is why they started Sonny.
Oh. Oh, nice pass. Oh, wow. That was definitely, I love me some Torpchenko, but that was definitely an interesting play to have in that type of moment. Oh, Blues getting the power play. Oh, wait. What happened?
No, I think they're getting a penalty kill.
Oh, they are getting, okay, yeah. Blues are going on the power play. Didn't see a delayed penalty. Yep, power play for the Blues. Yeah, like I said, I love me some Torpchenko, but there definitely could have been a better play on that one after you had that much room. But yeah, overall, I like the aggressiveness. Again, I say it just is this team seriously a second half team? I mean, because from what we're seeing, and like I said, I'm not like most fans. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh my God, like they're just a completely different team, because I know this team had it in them, and we've seen it in some of the early games in the season. But it just feels different. I feel like this team in the second half, I feel like they just play with their food almost. It's like a completely different story.
Yeah, I think the rest just helps them. I think the rest has helped a lot of teams. I think, I just feel like, I don't know. You tell them first of all, it's like the last quarter when there's only 20 of 80 games left. It's not a half; it's the last quarter, and by that point, it's a little too late. So, no, I just kind of feel. I just kind of feel the break helps them, and in all actuality, the win streaks that have usually come are either they've started or the majority of them have come after a break.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, and I want to say it like this too. The thing with the Blues though is, and I see this a lot, and I don't care. I'll be honest. I'll be the outlier here. Everybody says, "Oh, the Blues suck. The Blues are ass. The Blues are terrible. The Blues are this. The Blues are this." The Blues had Parayko, Bennington, Suter, Broberg, Dvorsky, 5 guys right there in the Olympics. So the Blues must not be that terrible.
Yeah.
So you don't just get thrown on a team just because. I mean, yeah, you could be talking about one team, with Canada and Doug Armstrong being the GM of Canada, but still, that you had Broberg, you had Suter, you had Dvorsky. So I mean, what's your reasoning for them?
Yeah.
So. Okay, so we're already going back to 4-on-4 here. So that didn't take very long.
No. Well, Buchnevich just pissed.
I'm sure he is. Pavel with a trip here. Let's see here. Wow, that's a gracious call, I'd say. That's pretty gracious. I won't lie.
Yeah. I
will not lie. That is a pretty gracious call by the official on that one. And that comes down to kind of the consistency, because we were talking about that. You're like, oh yeah, it has to be egregious when you're on the power play. Like usually it has to be like out there egregious. Yeah. I saw in a game beforehand, a couple games ago, the Blues were on the other team was on a power play, and they clearly tripped the Blues player. I mean, and it's a bad trip. Oh wow, Grubauer swimming around like a fish out of water.
Thomas just did your favorite thing.
I know. See, but and that's what we talk about. We talk about that. That is the one thing that Robert Thomas could improve on. Is his hanging his head up in the sky kind of thing. And I get it. It's a frustration thing. He's still a young guy. But you do want to see, man, that puck is swimming around. Grubauer is absolutely lost in the sauce. Great save though by him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hell, I don't even remember where I was, to be honest.
He's on nice attitude. He needs to not be so hard on himself, because I think it carries over to his line. It carries over to his line. It's the Ryan O'Reilly effect, right? I think O'Reilly should have been a good captain. When you are not the captain, it is absolutely okay to sit there and say we all need to play better, right? Or I need to play better. When you're not the captain, it's absolutely okay to say I need to play better. When you are the captain, it is completely wrong. Nice play, nice setup. Fowler. Holloway gets that one. Fowler
to Holloway. Great play. Great pass over from Holloway, I believe, is the original pass here. And then Holloway sets himself up. Shin bumps his back to Holloway. Holloway gives it over to Fowler. And Fowler, with all the patience in the world, just puts his right on the stick for Holloway. Great play. 4-on-4 goal. Blues, I think that is their first 4-on-4 goal of the season.
Yeah, might be right. I could look that up. Did you know that? I could look that up.
Yeah. Gotta love it, man. And I love it. Love that we can look things up now.
At least I thought I could look that up. I know it's here somewhere.
Snuggerud, I like that speed that I'm seeing, man. Yeah, Kraken, I'm telling you right now, Kraken are going to struggle mightily if they play, a team like Colorado.
It's their second one.
Second, okay. Oh, yeah. They don't score much 4-on-4. They play pretty good 4-on-4, but they never seem to score. But I don't think
giving up a 4-on-4 goal.
Yeah, they usually don't. 4-on-4, they play pretty good. It's like 3-on-3 overtime. I think that they're a pretty good 3-on-3 overtime team, like possession wise and getting chances, but they never seem to score, it seems. But they do a pretty good job defending.
He scores one goal, Jason, doesn't mean he's getting $6 million now. I mean, come on, bud. He goes, well, Halloween is getting $6 million now. That's not going to get him $6 million. Get two more hat tricks. Get 2 more hat tricks in the last 20 games. Yeah, then you might get your $6 million.
Well, for me, like I said, 6 would be your max. Like if the Blues are willing to do that for Dylan Holloway with his injury history, maybe I can justify it because I like Dylan Holloway, but I don't know if that's the right move for the Blues considering he is so injury prone. Yeah. It's hard to give a guy like that money when he only plays 40, 50 games in the season.
Yeah.
I mean, because Dylan Holloway has been hurt twice this year, right? Not just once, twice.
Yeah, twice. Good save by Drew Bauer. Dvorsky right there, though.
Blues are playing good. I think that if you talk about control, I think the Blues have controlled this game from a cycling standpoint, like a offensive zone time standpoint, I guess.
See, I don't know about this. They said Aaron Nell says Jason Nichols. See, I had Robert Thomas being the next C. So do I. But if you leave, Jakey definitely deserves it for sure. I don't know about that. I'm not in that camp. I mean, he could be a C at one point, but I'm not in that camp yet.
Yeah, he like I said, Jake Neighbors carries himself with so much maturity for such a young age. I just don't know if that's your captain right off the bat, if I'm honest. Especially like if Robert Thomas leaves, yeah, he's definitely in the running for sure. And you're looking at Braden Shin being gone. So he's in the running, but I don't think it's the right move. I think you kind of keep the captaincy vacant for a minute.
Yeah.
Actually.
I think my issue is I think Jake Neighbors is another Ryan O'Reilly, right? I think Jake Neighbors is another Ryan O'Reilly, the guy that comes out and blames himself for everything, right? Blackhawks made 2 trades in 48 hours with the Oilers. The Oilers now have both former Blackhawks alternate captains. Wonder who Dixon's since Connor Bedard is a full-time alternate captain now. I do not know.
Yeah, I went over that trade. It was a first and Andrew Mangiapane to Chicago for Dickinson and Colton something. And I was surprised that there was a first out of that. I was surprised Chicago ended up getting a first for that, if I'm honest. It might have been a conditional or something like that, but I don't know. It's interesting for me. Honestly, I'm thinking about some of the players on this team, and I think Snuggerud's great. I think Neighbors is awesome. I think he's definitely your front runner there. But I think that your captain doesn't have to produce like a crazy amount, but he should be a productive player, I think.
Yeah.
For you. And although I love Jake, Jake has been not that he's been bad, but Jake has been just there since coming back from his injury. And that injury was the worst thing to happen to him because he was the hottest blue going into it, and he came out of it. And obviously, yeah, he has to kind of rebound after having that injury, but he's never really got back up to that level again this season. Honestly, I don't know how the room is, and I know I'm very high on the guy, and I don't think that you probably would make him the captain because of, I think, how quiet he is. But someone like Phil Broberg, I think Phil Broberg could also be a captain, but he wouldn't be because I don't think he doesn't strike me as a very talkative guy.
Yeah.
He strikes me as a very quiet guy, which I don't think that's what you need. Or who knows? Maybe that is what you need. I don't know. But
I think if Shin is traded, and if Robert Thomas is traded and Shin's not traded, you don't need to worry about it until Shin's gone, and by that point, things will change. But if Thomas and Shin are both traded, I'm thinking that Falk would be the captain if Falk is still here. But no, Falk's on the end of a deal, so I don't know, man. It's hard to say. Looking at it.
Well, I'm telling you now. First of all, I like Shin. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Shin, but I would be very, very disappointed if you trade Robert Thomas and you do not trade Braden Shin. If Robert Thomas is the guy that you're moving on from, and you're telling me that you're keeping Braden Shin over Robert Thomas, although I love both guys, why in the world would you ever keep Braden Shin over Robert Thomas?
Yeah.
There's a higher upside. Braden Shin's on the back nine of his career.
Yep. Offers just
good save there by Hofer.
Offer dialed in.
Shots 19-14. Yeah. Shots 19-14 for the Blues right now. Kraken getting a few chances there, but Hofer up to the task.
Hofer dialed in. I gotta say that he's probably going to give one up. They're playing. The Blues are playing a weak defense right now. Oh, there we go. Get that puck out. Oh, nice opening. Oh,
good try.
Nice passing there.
Good try.
Yeah. Gets blocked.
It's okay. It gets deflected out, but it was a good try. I like the patience. The Kraken are kind of being over aggressive, and the Blues are being patient. So Kraken are taking these extra chances to try to make these moves, and Blues are trying to be patient, which I like.
Yeah. Nice. Oh, you know what? I'll be honest. I didn't even realize Kessel was in this game. To be honest, I know we had Parayko out, but I'll be honest. Kessel's a guy that I don't. A lot. You haven't heard his name a lot, but then again, see, that's the one thing with the national announcers. The guys on the back end, the guys, the fourth line guys, the third pairing guys. They, even when they do have the puck, they barely say their names. Right.
Yeah.
So
they don't. That's the thing. Yeah, like you said, with national broadcast, these type of announcers only look really at the well-known guys, the big name guys. They could really care less about the bottom guys, which is sad to see.
Matthews leaving Toronto. I really could see Matthews leaving Toronto. I think he's getting fed up in Toronto right now.
Well, Matthews should leave Toronto. If Toronto just needs to strip it down. Toronto is not going anywhere. I mean, they are absolutely. If you want to talk about, they're not a bad team because they have some good talent there, but they're a team that is in a sea of absolute nothingness. If you want to talk about a team in the murky middle, that's Toronto.
Yeah, they just and I talked about it with Tim Thomas. And I talked about it when Daniel Rujos was here, our German buddy. Same thing. The kind of this thought process of his defensive hockey. It wears on players. The way he is.
Oh, what a save! What a save over.
He is dialed in. He is dialed in.
Well, let me bring this to you because you talk about Austin Matthews. Would you trade Robert Thomas if you got Austin Matthews in return?
Depending on what else I'd have to give up, yes.
Okay, but and you see, I'm okay with that. To me, I'll be honest. I think Austin Matthews, to me, I know you don't agree. Austin Matthews, to me, I think is the most overrated superstar in the league. But I would be okay with that because Austin Matthews is a center and he's a proven center. So you're getting a center that can replace Robert Thomas.
Yeah.
He can fit in that angle.
That can score 70 goals.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're getting a well-known guy. So, but then again, I bring it up to this too as well. Dude, I'll be honest. I'll be in a fever dream if the Blues were ever to get William Nylander. I love Willie Stiles, man. Yeah. Willie Stiles. If Willie Stiles became a Blue man, that would be amazing. That would take too much. It's never going to happen because I think the asking price would probably be too high. But man, oh man, would he be a good player? See, now that's the type of guy that I would be like, okay, would I trade Jordan Kyrou for William Nylander? I don't know. It'd be pretty close.
Yeah. I know if I was trading, well, first of all, the money is what kind of hurts. So if I was trading, man, he dialed in. If I was trading Thomas for Matthews, I know I'm giving up more, especially since I got to make the dollar work. So I got to give up. Matthews is making what, 11 mil or 12 mil, right?
Something like that.
Right. And so I got to match that. I got to do dollar for dollar. I mean, that's just the way it is. So if I'm doing, and that's what the other part of it is. What do I got to do to match it? Matthews is 13-2, right? So 8, 9. I got to come up with another $5.5 million or another $5 million, right? I got to come up with another $5 million. Plus, I got to probably give up a first-round pick. Now, I would protect it. I would top 10 protect it this season, or lottery protect it this season. But who's the other guy? Who's the other guy that they take to give us for the cap room? You know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially
and I'll be
more years.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I'll be like, obviously that would be a bigger trade in its own right. It would be a block, like I said, it obviously would not be Robert Thomas for Matthews straight up. It obviously you'd have to have pieces in there. I don't know how they'd iron it out. And this is not a trade that I see coming to fruition. First of all, I don't even know if Matthews would even want to come to St. Louis.
We talked about that. I think St. Louis is a destination city. I think the majority of players would want to come to St. Louis and play.
I think it is, but I think I would probably say that I'd rather think that he would go to like he would go to Utah or something before that he would actually come to St. Louis, just because of, well, actually technically he's from Arizona, isn't he? Or something like that.
Yeah, well, he was born in California but raised in Arizona. Oh man!
Okay, so
that one, he made a save he didn't even see. The save made him.
Yeah. So like obviously they're not in Arizona anymore, so it would be Utah. I could see him going to Utah, just because of, technically they are, they're not the Arizona Coyotes anymore, but they're still the same team. Yeah. Honestly, I don't see that happen. But St. Louis is a destination city. I do think that Austin Matthews would entertain the prospect of coming to St. Louis, but like I said, this is all just fun talk because we could talk about it till we're blue in the face. That trade's never going to happen. I can pretty much say with confidence that the Blues are not trading Robert Thomas. Like, we're not getting a deal between Toronto and St. Louis for Robert Thomas and Austin Matthews. It's not going to happen.
Well, here, Jason, I want to tell you, I love you, bud, but this tells me you know shit about hockey. And I mean that in the nicest way I can. I want a Hughes Bro and the Chucks. It's not a pipe dream. Oh my God, if we got that, we would, if we had all four of those guys, guarantee you would be in the bottom of the league every single year. Those players, they don't all work well together. Right? You just, the best just putting a team of spend the best money for the quote unquote best player doesn't always, especially in hockey, it doesn't work.
Mhm.
Right? You can get away with that in baseball. You can get away with that in hockey, or not hockey, in soccer. You can get away with that in basketball. It's not going to work in hockey. It will not work. It would not work, and the only reason you trade him is the return. Right?
Well, and I want to say this too. I think not to say that my trade was the greatest, but when I'm thinking about trades, I really liked the prospect of, if you're going to trade Robert Thomas, I would have loved to seen a thing for like New Jersey where it's Robert Thomas and Justin Falk for the Hughes brothers. I think that's pretty plausible. Obviously, you'd have to maybe add a few pieces right there.
Now,
but that was one of the trades.
The Hughes brothers worked. I get that. But you put the Hughes and the Kachucks, you put 3 superstars on a team, there's not enough puck to go around.
Mm-hmm.
There's not enough puck to go around.
Well, first of all, the Blues, although the Blues do have a future, you'd literally have to trade off all your future assets to get all 3 of those guys anyway. So that's not going to happen.
Right.
And even if you did, like you said, I don't think that that's the best thing, because just because you have the best players doesn't mean you're going to be winning all the time. Doesn't mean that you're going to be the best team.
Have the chemistry. You've got to have the ability to share the puck. You got to have the ability. That was Brett Hull's one downfall, right? To me, other than the fact that he didn't play defense, was that he always wanted the puck. He wouldn't share the puck, right? And there's that great story, and God, I can't remember the Russian kid that was on Detroit for a while, right?
Yeah.
God, what was his name? Dr. Detroit. Who was the Russian kid that played with Brett Hull for a while there? I know his name's like sitting on the tip of my tongue. He was a superstar in the league for a while. Oh wow! There, Hopper almost did it again. Almost put one back in his own net. He's got to stop playing the puck. I know he's good at it, but he makes too many effing mistakes. Right? I don't know if Dr. Detroit's still with me. Right? Okay, here. What about this? Robert Thomas and Shen, and I'll move to Toronto for Matthews. I'll just freak talk. No, man, that's one thing about I'll tell you what. If I was a scout, that is one thing that I would question in the negative column. Jason, you put too much into that. And I don't think that's as important as you make it out to be. The team loves him, bro. I don't know about that when he puts the puck right down Broadway that, could easily go in. And he makes a lot of mistakes when he plays the puck. Ooh, that was a big hit.
For me, like I said, I think that that's just one type of trade that you can make with Robert Thomas was the Devils trade where you could do the Hughes brothers for Thomas and Falk or whoever else you wanted, in place of, Falk or whatever, if you wanted somebody else. But I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, that's perfect because first of all, you're getting a good player in Jack Hughes. Yes, Jack Hughes is very injury prone, but so is Robert Thomas. Robert Thomas deals with injuries a lot. They're pretty much the same type of caliber of player. I put them both in pretty similar categories. They're pretty straight. I think Robert Thomas is a better playmaker. I think Jack Hughes is a better scorer, but I think both are pretty equal in value. So, and then you get Justin Falk over to New Jersey for Luke Hughes, which Luke Hughes is probably the weaker of all the Hughes brothers, but he can develop into something pretty nice.
Yeah.
So that's just a thought, just out there, because if I'm trading Robert Thomas, I want a center in return.
Yeah. It's the same thing with me with trading Bennington. You need that veteran goaltender in return. New Jersey says Jack Hughes is untouchable, so sadly he will be retiring a Devil. There is no player that's untouchable.
Well, sadly,
no player that's untouchable.
I want to counter this, and I hope that you were watching. I don't know who made this comment, but who made this comment?
Scary Phantom.
Okay, Scary. I want to counter this with. I don't know if you were on the show when we had our buddy
Jim Behringer.
Damn, Jim, our buddy Jim on. When I presented this trade, I thought that he also would do the same thing and say the same thing you did, but he did not. He actually said that this was actually pretty close. Shockingly enough, he said that he would actually be open to this. I think he said that you'd have to probably send a little bit more to New Jersey, but he would be open to this prospect of a trade. And I think in both cases, it helps the Blues and it helps the Devils because, like we talked about earlier, I think fans in general don't understand that two teams can win a trade. It doesn't have to be one loses, one wins.
Well, I mean, they put it out publicly, Scary, but that doesn't mean that they mean it. Okay, I'm just telling you that the right offer comes along. You know, it doesn't take. Look, we all thought Brett Hull was untradeable, right? Brett Hull was St. Louis hockey. He is still St. Louis hockey, right? When he is in town, when he is doing his thing, he is St. Louis hockey. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. But at the same time, with all that being said, it got down to a point. Now, they didn't trade him. They decided they weren't going to re-sign him. And it could happen again. So be aware that just because, you know, what's in baseball and football, what is one thing management can say that guarantees you that the manager will get fired? There is one thing that if a team says this, it's almost absolutely certain the manager's getting fired.
Are you asking me? Because I don't know, bud. Okay. I was gonna say, yeah. You play a lot of guessing games. I don't like a lot of guessing games all the time.
I do.
Here and there is. What's up?
Yeah, you know, they say he's not getting fired, or he's got my full vote of confidence. As soon as he gets a full vote of confidence, he's fucking changing his resume, right? So for them to sit there and say Luke Hughes is untouchable, that just meant teams are going to call because let's see what we can do.
No, it would be. I think he's talking about Jack Hughes.
Or Jack Hughes, yeah, whatever. Jack
Well,
Hughes.
I mean, first of all, like I said, you can the only way that the Hughes, especially those two Hughes, would be traded is if they were coming in a package deal. Those guys, I don't think either one of those guys would be very happy if one of them got traded away off of their team to a different team, with a solo. Now, it may be a little different. Like maybe say, obviously it's never going to happen because Minnesota does not have that much. They got Quinn Hughes. But if it was like, Jack, the Minnesota Wild did Jack Hughes, and I think Luke would be a little bit more willing and okay with that because he's going to play with his other brother. But he's not going to be happy if you send him to a team that doesn't have his other brother on it. So you're going to have to trade them in a package deal. So never say never. That's the one thing I've always learned. Never say never because it's never say never. Really, it really is not, because there's a lot of times where you'll say, oh, well, I don't think that's going to happen. Like, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think this is going to happen. But then it happens. And then you're like, oh man, what I say?
I gotta get some water, man. I'm a little kerplumped here. I'll be right back.
All right. They're talking about the trade deadline. They're focusing on Robert Thomas. Of course that they would be focusing on Robert Thomas. Like I said, I've said it. I've said it. I'm not in favor of getting rid of Thomas. I'm not. I understand the prospect of, pun intended. I understand the prospect of getting rid of Robert Thomas. You can get a lot for him. You can get a haul for him. Someone might overpay you, but I am sorry if you're looking at a team in the Blues that had a Dvorsky that's been on this team, that's been developed, and I think he's going to be great. I think he can easily slot into a second line center role. Eventually, he's not quite there consistently, but I think he can be there. If you're talking about a team in the Blues that had a center that they can rely on, that would be, consistently competitive, I would be like, okay. Now, that guy for me currently right now would be Pius Suter, but Pius Suter is not a top-line center. As much as I love the guy, and I think he's been absolutely outstanding for this team, he's not a number one center. So, you don't have a guy you can fall back on. Yes, you have a lot of serviceable guys at center, but you don't have a center if you trade Robert Thomas. You can't trade Robert Thomas for prospects. Yes, although you may be getting a bunch of them, you can't take a risk, especially if those prospects are not a center. So you can get prospects, but if those prospects are not a center, and you know that this guy is possibly going to be something special, you cannot trade Robert Thomas because you're not getting a center in return that can play now and that is going to work out for you. And yes, I know every prospect in the league, you don't know if it's going to pan out. But centers, defense, those are your most crucial positions on the whole entire ice. And I think if you get rid of them for the chance and hoping that things work out, it's not going to turn out good for you. It's a little different if you were going to say, okay, let's take a chance on this prospect goalie. Okay, let's take a chance on this prospect winger. Those are a little different. I think wingers come a dime a dozen. I think goalies come a dime a dozen. Centers and defensemen are hard to get, and when you got good ones, you can't just give them up for no reason. I don't know if
Jason Nichols is the center. Get him on the roster ASAP.
You're a center. You're a center. You're a center, all right. You hit the center of my head when I have to take a Tylenol and I got a headache.
I think this is the first time in like a decade no one's talking about Chicharin being traded. Yeah, you haven't heard his name mentioned. Who? Chicharin.
Oh, Chikrin. Oh yeah, Chikrin. Yeah, Chikrin was a hot and at one point you got to think about it. Chikrin was in the Blues sweepstakes for a while. Blues were talked about getting him for a while, and at the end of the day, I'm glad that they didn't. With obviously how the Blues team is, it's disappointing and they're underperforming. But Chikrin would have done nothing for this team. I don't think anything would be different if Jacob Chikrin was on this team.
I agree with that.
I think we would still be having the same issues we're having. So it's going to be interesting. I'm very excited to see. I'm nervous to see who gets moved, but there's something about the deadline as a fan and as someone now in media that is just overexcited when I see the trade deadline pop up, because it's always interesting. It's always cool, the fantasy book where you would want certain guys.
Yep. Aaron says, hey, you enjoy my funny comments, Justin.
What comment? I don't remember what comment you made. What comment did you make?
Nichols is a center, get him on the roster ASAP.
Oh,
that was Aaron Nell's comment.
Oh, okay. I thought it was Jason saying that he was a center.
No, that was Aaron.
I was like,
now I had a thought and it went right out I said this yesterday, and I thought about this a lot, and I probably should have made a TikTok about it. I said this yesterday when we were talking to Jim Thomas about the Blues, what happened in Winnipeg in Game 7. carrying over. And Jim said, that's an awful long hangover. And I said, well, the Rams had the same hangover, had just had a full season hangover after they won the Super Bowl, right? And he gave me the touche. And then I said, it's like running in sand. And the more I think about it, I think that analogy is perfect, right? I think these guys have been running in sand all season long, and every time they get to pavement, the sand's still there and it slows them down and they end up right back in the sand, and they've never gotten out of it, right? And for me, you ask what's going to get them out of it, and I think it's going to be, a break. I think it's going to be getting away from everything, getting away from the noise. And you say, oh, well, they had the Olympic break. They didn't get away from the noise. They need to get away from the noise. I think that getting away from having this bad, you know what? I think about this. Go back to 2016, 17, or 16, 17, right? The season before that, the Blues went to the Western Conference Finals. They beat, I forget who it was. They beat in 5 games. Might have been, it wasn't Chicago. Because Chicago got swept by Nashville. Oh, Minnesota. I think it was Minnesota. They beat in 5 games. Then they come into Nashville. They were the higher seed, right? They should have won. They should have gone back to the Western Conference Finals, and they end up losing to Nashville in 6 games. The next season, they don't get. They start off hot as hell, and then all of a sudden they start running in sand, and they never got out of it and missed the playoffs. They kept running in sand until somehow something changed, and then they end up winning the cup. Mm-hmm. I kind of feel like right now, this team absolutely needs to end the season and get away from it all, and then get back to better.
Yeah, for me, honestly, me and Jim, I think you were kind of surprised. I think me and Jim were a lot more pretty common ground than most Blues fans. We had the same common ground. We had the same thought process. Me and him both see this Blues team as better than what they're playing at right now. We think it's an anomaly season. And we talked about this, at least myself and Jim, we said that we don't think that this team is that far off. And I truly believe that. I think that I think some moves will be needed, obviously, but I think if you make those moves and you get some assets for them guys like Falk, like you're going to get with possibly Parayko, Falk, those guys, and you keep and you ride and die with Robert Thomas and Jordan Kyrou, who knows? Maybe that's the change you needed. Maybe you need to push out the older guys and get younger, and maybe you start to see a change. I think
both you and Jim Thomas are misreading me really, really bad. I agree with you, and I'm giving you a reason why I agree with you, but you're thinking that my reason is totally opposite. Right?
Yeah, well,
go ahead.
No, I just was saying. Well, I was just saying from a physical standpoint because we physically said it. Like obviously you're saying it in a different way, but it is like we were physically saying. Like Jim even said it. He goes, "I don't think that this team's far out," and I agreed. I didn't hear you say that you agreed, so that's why I was saying I was confused, or not confused, but I just didn't say that you were in that camp.
No, I am in that camp. I don't think we're that far. By the way, this is Aaron Nels, and this comment is for Justin. Justin, what are the odds we could get Guy into playing NHL on an Xbox or something and getting a squad together? Well, I do have an Xbox. I haven't played it in a long time, but I don't know if I don't have the current NHL game, and I'm not very good at it. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think Guy would be very. Guy's not very much. I don't think he's much into gaming. Like kind of we are. But I step back on it.
and well, guy, and this wouldn't be. This is not like. This isn't even like an on or like a computer thing. Yeah, you can play against the computer, but like this would. He's talking about like they like have like 6v6, so it would be like online. So it would be like other players playing against you as well. So it's not just computers.
No, I know
Yeah.
what it is.
Okay. Yeah. It's all. Well, yeah. I was just saying because you say you play on the easiest difficulty, but that's computers. That's not. There's no difficulty
No,
online.
normally I don't play. I don't play online because I don't know anybody that plays online. Basically, or at least I didn't. I have an Xbox account.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But yeah, no, me and Aaron have played some. We played some hockey, but yeah, no, Aaron, I enjoy the game. I know that there's a handful of people that just don't like the game, but as for like playing 66, I still play that competitively. That's kind of what I did yesterday. That's why I didn't think that I would be on the show, but I ended up just doing it while I was kind of here. So, but yeah, it's a fun game.
My Xbox name is Cards Fan Guy. One word.
Cards Fan Guy. Wow, that's
One word.
That's interesting. That's not a Blues name, a Cardinals name.
No, because when I got my Xbox, I was more into the Cardinals at that time because it was impossible. It's when the Blues sucked and it was impossible to see them here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you'll have to get that. You have to use that one free name change because I think they have it now. Well, technically you don't have to, but you could. I love that they changed it to where you actually you get a chance to, after a certain time period, you get to what is it? You get to change your name for free. Usually they charge you for it, but after a certain point, you can change your name. I think it's like.
I pay for it every month. I mean, games that I play on it, Rise of Industry, GT Legends, Fishing Planet are some of the games I play on it. I like those games I play. I just haven't played on it a lot, you know. And I guess if I got the right NHL, I could play it off the computer too. I have an Xbox style controller.
Oh, nice.
No,
yeah, I think
you brought Xbox this season.
Yeah, I think as for the game, it's not easy. It's not easy to pick up. You have to definitely have some hockey IQ there. Yeah. But I just but no, what I was saying is I know you said that you pay for it, but it's like they have it to where when you change your gamer tag, it's stupid. They charge you like $10 to change your gamer tag, but after a certain point, you can, like, if you don't change your name or nothing for like a couple months, or I think it might be a year, you get a free name change, so you don't have to pay the money, which is cool. I like that they did that because I think it's stupid that you have to physically pay to change your name on Xbox. I think that's stupid. Obviously, you shouldn't be able to change it like every day, but like, you know, every once in a while, I don't see why you shouldn't be able to change it. Well, we're underway here in the third period. Here we got 20 minutes to go, and we got Blues are up 2-1 right now. Hofer's been having a good game in this one.
Just got to close it out. This is what we talk about, having that, what do you call it? Having
Killer
that,
instinct.
What I'm hearing is I'm not good enough to play with Justin, which to be fair is 100% accurate point. I just don't, I don't play it enough to know all the moves and have all that dexterity.
He was talking about himself, not you.
No, he was talking about me. That was Aaron.
No, I said the comment that he made. It sounded like he said. I think he was crapping on himself, not you.
No, he's got what I'm hearing. So what he said, I'm hearing is what I'm saying is I'm not good enough to play with Justin. That's what he's saying. That I'm saying I'm not good enough to play with Justin. I mean, if you guys want to add me, and I don't have the newest version, but if we got the same version or even my ultimate, maybe I can download it and we can play for a little bit. No, I was talking about myself for sure. Okay.
Yeah, no, he was. Well,
Oh, am I that far
Robert.
behind again?
Oh shit, my bad. Robert Thomas, man, what a goal! What a pass by! What a pass! You'll see this. I hope you see. Did you see this yet?
I've seen it. Yeah.
Okay. What a pass by Braden Shin. What a shot by Robert Thomas. Oh my
Shit
goodness
finally decided
gracious.
to show up in a hockey game. He's been like missing the last few games.
I've been very hard on Shin. Shin's had a good game in this game.
Yeah.
He's been good in this game.
Oh, it was a goal scorer shot too.
Ew. God, I'm sorry. I think Grubauer's been good in this game. He's had some good saves in this game. But I'm sorry, man. How did this man win a Stanley? I'm sorry. I don't know how this man won a Stanley Cup. I am not a big Grubauer.
He had a team that was so good at controlling the puck that it never went in the other zone.
Well, when I go back to that though, and again, I'm going to still say it. If Binnington did not get taken out in that series, I think the Blues beat the Colorado Avalanche. So, I just, for me, I'm sorry. I just watched Grubauer, and I just don't know. I just don't know how he is quoted as like someone like he's so great, you know. And I don't think that's the case. I don't think anybody thinks that he's just like an absolute merchant out there, but.
Yeah.
He's just a guy when I watch him play, and I'm not a goalie, so maybe Lance can maybe free that up a little bit if he's still in here, maybe. But I just look at Grubauer, and when he
didn't win one with the Avs, I thought he did. It was Kemper. That's right. He got traded. Well, I think he was on the team, so I'm not sure. I'll be right back.
Oh, you know what? I think it might have been that. It might have been. It was Darcy Kemper, I believe. Oh no, was it? Was it Kemper? I thought it was Grubauer that won the cup with him. I could be wrong. It was either Kemper or Grubauer, but still, both goalies still reign true to me. I don't see the big value in either. If I'm honest, I think Darcy Kemper is probably a little better, but both are not great. Oh, wow. Falk with an absolutely great move at the point. Blues are really they're really trying to take this game over. They're getting that, as Guy says, getting that killer instinct. I like what I'm seeing right now. The Blues are really trying to take it to the Kraken. Great puck movement by this line here. Wow, great, absolutely great movement by the Blues there in the zone. Absolutely wearing down the Kraken. Oh. Ooh. Yeah, Blues are really, really getting at it right now. They are really peppering Grubauer right now. Seattle is struggling to get this puck out. I don't know how that. I would assume he pulled that comment up, but I didn't. He's not back, so he might have did that on accident. Shots 24-21. Blues had a firing squad there for a second. Oh, great defensive stick by Jake Neighbors. Great block by Neighbors again. And I think for me, and I made this comment earlier about Jake Neighbors and how, you possibly leave the captaincy vacant for a minute and, just kind of wait to see who you make captain, especially if Thomas isn't on this team. Jake is up there, but for me, obviously, I said something about the production, but you know what you're getting with Jake Neighbors. You're getting a hardworking guy. You're getting a captain-esque player. So I wouldn't hate it. And I think he's a smart individual for how young he is. But I don't know. I just think if Thomas is off this team, I think you just kind of wait to crown your captain. I don't know if Guy is here or if he's – what's going on? I don't know if you're in here, Guy, or if you're just bringing up comments. I
thought I was back in the stage. I'm sitting here talking.
No, but you're not. I'm seeing comments pop up, and I'm like, I'm not even going to attempt to get close and read them because you're not even in here. So I'm like,
yeah, no, that was me. I thought I was back in the stage. I'm sitting here talking with you, and I didn't realize I wasn't back in.
You're probably like, man, why is this guy not replying to me? What's up?
Oh, Jason with one of his comments where every time he says one of these comments, I want to drive all the way to fly to St. Louis and just smack him upside the head and then fly back to Hawaii. Players are playing for dollars. I feel like Jake is different. Jake is playing for dollars just as much as everybody else is. Right? I'm sorry. I mean, it's their job.
Everybody. Yeah. Well, before I'll take this over before a guy crashes out on you, Jason. Every player, like Guy said, every player is looking for the dollar. Like Guy just said, it is their job. That is what they're paid to do. If you are good at now, I want to ask this question to anybody because we talk about how players, they ask for too much sometimes, right? They ask for too much, for more than they're valued. But if you are at doing your job and you do it at a consistent level and you're good at your job, shouldn't you want the biggest return possible for your job that you do? Yeah, you should. Do I think players over ask? I do. But do I think some players don't get as much as they probably should? Absolutely. So I think every player in the NHL really is playing for the dollar.
So Jason's response is, bro, you're the one that said it's a business. You're right. And you said that you think Neighbors is different. He's playing for the fans, and I guarantee you they're not. Right? They're playing to make sure you buy the ticket to pay their salary. Right? They're playing for that.
Now, and I want to play devil's advocate here because the statement is I mostly agree with Guy on this one, but I partially don't because there is players. Now, I don't know if I'm reading you right here, Jason. There is players, though, that do give off the aura of, I just love this city. I really do love this city. I really want to play for this city. I want to play for this town. There is players in the NHL that have that mindset. And I do think that Neighbors could fall in that category. I think he likes the player. I think a guy like Nathan Walker is in that category. I think of guys like that I think I don't fully agree with that statement, Guy, that they don't play for the fans because I think there is players in the NHL that do play for the fans.
Okay, I mean, yeah.
So although they play with the dollar,
the extreme, but to think that Jason sometimes has, and I love Jason to death, and he knows that. I love you to death, and I know you know that. Okay, but sometimes just some of the things he says. Like I'm like, dude, put the bong down. Put the bong down. Just walk away.
Put the bong down, Jason. Put the bong down, buddy.
It's just.
I agree. I agree with you 100%. Sometimes it's definitely out there. I definitely think that sometimes, Jason, you could take things a little bit to the extreme, but. I understand it. You have the fandom. I love it. That's what being a fan's all about.
Yeah.
And that's actually a good topic, a switch point with the Robert Thomas thing. I'm a big Robert Thomas guy. I've talked about it a lot. If Robert Thomas gets traded, I'm gonna hate the hell out of it. I'm gonna hate it depending on what the depending on what the return is, I should say. I'm gonna hate it. I'm gonna bitch and complain. But you know what? I'm gonna do what most fans will not do. And when the Blues are bad, I'm gonna be right here in this seat and I'm gonna watch from puck drop to finish every single game like I have done for my whole entire life. And I'm not gonna sit here and bitch about how the Blues are behind the 8 ball. While the fans that are claiming for Robert Thomas to be traded and all blow this thing up and the Blues should rebuild, they're going to regret that decision when the Blues are bad for many, many years. And then we're gonna hear.
This is where I struggle with your guys' comment about we're close. And then you say, well, if we trade this guy or that guy, we're 4 years off. Well, how can you say we're close if you trade one guy away and now you're saying we're 4 years off? So that's where I struggle with that comment, if that makes sense.
Robert Thomas, like I said, with the return, Robert Thomas is a guy that I'm not trading, and he is one of your best pieces. He is one of your guys that creates the most offensive chances for your team. If you give him up, yes, you are massively behind. You're struggling offensively. You don't just give up your best offensive guy, for prospects and just hope and pray that they work out. That's just not how it works. So that's why I say if you trade Robert Thomas, now if you're looking at a thing where you're trading Robert Thomas and a Jordan Kyrou, this team is massively going to be bad. It's going to be massively bad.
Yeah,
it's going to be very bad.
Wendy says, "Guy, you should just play the rant clip from a few years ago now." The Scandella clip. They're playing for the glory and the win. It is also their craft. They are not playing for the glory and the win. I'm telling you that. That's the thing that comes along with it. They are professionals. When you are professional, you do your job.
I save Hofer.
Say again?
I just was saying I save Hofer.
You do your job to the best of your ability. You know, how many people do their job for the glory? Very, very few.
Well, I'll tell you what. I've never told you these stories, but I work with someone who definitely doesn't do it for the glory. That's for sure. And let's just say, if it was up to me, I cannot believe this individual still has a job. If I'm honest.
My last 10 years in the Navy, if they could have fired me, they would have. I quit. I'll be honest. I did the bare minimum.
I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying there is a person though that I work with that like it's just like the talk of the town just because this person. Like I said, have you ever drew on a white piece of paper with a white crayon, guy?
No.
Okay, so with a white piece of paper and a white crayon, what do you think it does? You think you can see it?
Yeah, you can see it somewhat.
Okay, guy, you're not helping my case out here, pal. Come on, help me out a little bit.
No,
help me out a little bit.
The thing with if you said a white marker, then you can't see it, but a crayon, because the crayon is wax. The wax is going to leave a residue on the paper, and you're going to be able to see the residue of the wax.
Okay, guys. Since you want to play technical, you asshole. What have you ever drew on a white piece of paper with a white marker?
No, I have not.
Okay, and so it's pretty useless.
See anything?
Yeah. So then it would make it pretty useless, right?
Yes.
That's pretty much what it's like working with this individual. So, if that puts it in any context of our context.
You asked me a literal question. I gave you a literal answer.
Well, you know what? Even if that is the case, which it is, I know, but anytime I ever say that to anybody, the first thought isn't, oh, well, yeah, you can see it because of the wax residue. That's not the first thing I hear. I just hear, yeah, it's useless. It doesn't show up. That's pretty much what everybody tells me. I'm like, yeah, pretty much. So
I'm the one guy who sees it differently.
Here we go. We're gonna start the bogus calls again. This was not a good call again.
Holding on Torpo. See if they show it. I didn't see it. I was talking to you.
Torpchenko's not happy. Torpchenko's laughing. So I know that this was bad. I don't understand. I don't. But like I said, the officiating hasn't been too bad since coming back from the
Okay.
break. But still,
You know what? That's a hold. That's a hold all the way. I will call that. He's got his arm and his stick all the way around the guy's waist.
Yeah, that's still pretty weak to me, if I'm honest. But especially because he's not in any scoring threat either.
AC Generator says, I drew a polar bear in a snowstorm, white, and with a white crayon on white paper. It was glorious.
Safe to say that this is the representation of this individual that I'm talking about at work.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly what I'm doing right now.
Nothing.
So yeah, and I mean physically looking at the phone, not paying attention to literal children. I mean, oh my goodness, it's crazy, man. It is crazy. For me, I've never, seeing as I'm in the education field, I couldn't imagine doing something like that in the education field.
Jason says, Blues score shorthanded, please. I don't care if they do or not. I mean, they're up 3-1 right now.
As they're playing a good game. This third period's been pretty good. They've kept the Kraken. Yeah, they've kept the Kraken pretty isolated in this third period. So obviously, I want them to keep the pressure up. I don't want them to obviously back off. But a shorthanded goal is not needed. It's not necessary. But who knows? Blues could. You remember the one season when the Blues had like 9 shorthanded goals or something like that?
Oh, yeah. They led the league or second in the league. To quote Shorzy, one of the Blues' problems, and this is a problem on a lot of teams, they don't hate to lose. And I think you see that with a lot of NHL players, that they don't hate to lose. Because you're going to lose 30 games a year, 25 games a year. You're going to lose that many games. So at some point, it comes to a fact where you understand that a loss is okay. Right? And it goes back to when I talk about good wins, good losses, bad losses. If you don't see them as that way, if you just see them as wins and losses, you're not gonna hate to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But if you understand that, hey, we went out there and gave it our all, and they just played a little bit better. Okay. Go out and, next time you're going to get them. I don't know. Maybe I'm backtracking or saying the wrong thing the wrong way, but I think there's a little.
Nice. I kind of look.
Stop talking now.
Oh no, you're good. I'm not disagreeing with you. Shane Wright, you were talking about him the other show, and you were asking me if I wanted Shane Wright. I said no. You want Shane Wright?
I haven't even heard Shane Wright's name tonight. Well, I have the volume down.
He's on the ice.
Yeah, they killed the power play. That was a good way to knock off 8 minutes to get this down to under 8.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, I was just saying because I know you were asking me on the gym show because we were talking about it, and you're like, "Would I want Shane Wright?" And I said no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. He's just not. First of all, he's not. Shane Wright, with where he was projected at, he should be a lot further along than where he is. Yeah. Absolutely.
Shane Wright is well. This is what I have with the kid that everyone's talking about. I can't think of his name now. The projected number 1 overall pick or whatever.
McKenna?
Not McKenna.
McKinnon.
I just kind of worry. I think McKenna, and I don't know a lot about him, but just the thing with the what do you call it? The court thing or the arrest thing and all that. To me, that comes up. Oh man, he went and hooked him again and he didn't get called. He got lucky there. He took him right down. I says, I'll get you back for that one. Character comes into it a little bit. If McKinnon's going in there with the attitude that I should be number one no matter what, it's going to be that.
Well, I don't think he came out and said that.
No, but there's some rumblings that
yeah, no, I hear you. Shane Wright was a guy that publicly went out and said that, oh, I'm going to be number one.
Yeah.
McKenna didn't do that. And like I said, we talked about the McKenna situation. If what happened to McKenna is what actually happened, I may be in the minority here, but I'm sorry. If you're talking about my mom in a disrespectful way, I'm punching you in the mouth too. I'm sorry.
Well, there we go. 3-2. I'm not 100% sure it went and it was done. 100% sure it went in the net, but they were buzzing. And
yeah, they were
that killer instinct.
They were having
killer instinct.
Well, and again, like I said, I mean, I hate to bring it up, man. I hate to do it because I hate to do it. It's momentum. I mean, it's like I said, momentum is a thing in hockey, and they were buzzing right there. They haven't done anything really in this period. That was the best shift that they had. But this was coming off of a power play, so they didn't score.
I don't think they got any momentum from the power play. They got
yeah,
one shot
but
off the power play. They spent more time in the
yeah, but
right?
still, they still had they had the I guess the rhythm of the puck. They didn't have the greatest of power play.
I do get what you're saying, but I don't think it's always that way. I don't think you can sit there and say that what happened there was because they got a power play that maybe they shouldn't have gotten. I don't think.
Well, I don't think it was it wasn't the most egregious thing. Like I don't think it was a terrible call. I just think that when you're on home ice and you do get power plays, you do gain momentum whether you score or not. So
okay,
I mean, you look at the situation going into this period. The Blues have pretty much controlled the Kraken for the most part. After the power play, that's been the most kind of pressure that they've had was the power play and after.
Now it comes down to closing it out,
Mm-hmm.
Shots are a lot closer now, 27-26.
Yep. 3-2.
Right, 5:30 to go.
Yeah, Dunn. Yeah, Dunn has been good for Seattle, man. He's been a great addition for them. He's their best defenseman, pretty much.
Dunn should still be on the Blues.
Yeah, Dunn was interesting. I'm glad to see that he had the trajectory and he's actually playing well, and he's the number one guy in Seattle. I mean, he's definitely the number one defenseman in Seattle.
Yeah, he should have been our number two. He should not have. Well, I mean, he should not have gone the way he went. They should have got when Schwartz signed that free agent deal the very next day. The league should have called something out.
Yeah, that would have been too honorary.
I'm sorry, the league. It should have been. Doug Armstrong should have called that out. I'm sorry, I'd appealed. I'd have put in a what do you call it? I'd filed in an appeal or a protest because that's exactly what that was. You lost two players to them. This wasn't, So Grubauer went to him, but Grubauer didn't. Grubauer didn't go right away. He went a couple of days later, and he also didn't have contract talks with them prior to the expansion draft.
Mhm.
That's the difference.
Yeah, Seattle in the wild card spot right now. I like I said, right now, as of right now, they would play the Colorado Avalanche, and this team would get absolutely demolished by the Colorado Avalanche.
No, I don't think they would. I think they would play the who's ever first in the West. Because I think first in the last in the. Oh no! Actually, no.
No,
You're
the
right.
second,
Okay.
no, the
You're right,
second
you're right,
wild
you're
card
right,
would
you're
play the best team.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I saw that wrong. My bad. My
Yeah.
bad.
Colorado, 91 points right now, and there's still 20 something games to go.
Yeah.
Crazy. Like I said, I hope for Colorado fans, I hope that it's not setting them up for dramatic failure when it comes to the playoffs.
I hope they are.
Oh, I mean, I hope it is, but again, for Colorado fans, it's gonna definitely suck when they're like, "Oh yeah, we're the best team," and then Colorado goes in and they show what everybody sees. And
Gary was on Colorado's jock from the beginning, so you got to give him credit there. He told me how good they were going to be.
I mean, come on, yeah. I mean, taking Colorado to be a good team is like telling me I don't know what my last name is. That was a give me.
I didn't think they were going to be this good, and Scary told me they were going to be the best team in the league. I thought they were going to be third in the division. I didn't see them being this good.
Yeah, but like I said again, I also don't think that Colorado being the best team in the league is also that far of a stretch. I don't think it's the craziest take I've seen.
I didn't think their goaltending was going to hold up. I thought they were going to have goaltending issues.
Well, I actually think that you're right. I think that they will have goaltending issues, and I think they'll have goaltending issues in the playoffs. Because just like I think that they'll have issues with depth in the playoffs. I think that's what's going to be the downfall of Colorado is Nathan McKinnon, Cale Makar, Natchez. They're going to have to do the heavy lifting, and then when those guys are getting shut down by tougher teams, the depth isn't going to show up for Colorado. Let's see. I'm kind of curious to see if there's anything new on this. Oh wow, that was
Scary says they aren't going to have goaltending issues.
Well.
They have the best depth in hockey. He's been saying that.
They do not. They do not. Colorado does not have the best depth in hockey. Sorry, they don't. Their bottom six. Their bottom six is just terrible to look at to the eye. Sorry. They are a glorified top six team, and even at that, Nathan McKinnon, Cale Makar, Marty Natchez, those guys carry that team massively. So they're a good team. They've shown it this year. I don't know how that wasn't a penalty.
I haven't seen Kyrou that much in this game, or maybe I'm not paying enough attention to it.
Yeah, he's in there. He's had a couple good shifts in the zone, like hanging on to the puck and cycling the puck.
Okay, 14 minutes.
He hasn't been as noticeable as some of the other guys, but he's been there. He's had some good offensive zone time. And Sundqvist takes a stick up high, and there's no penalty on that one. So the Blues should have gotten 2 power plays here. Not that I'm complaining about power plays or nothing, but Blues should have got 2 already, right there at least. But yeah, we got 3:30 to go in the period.
It's got to be ready to handle the 6-on-5. Oh, that was bad.
We've been talking about the 6-on-5, and yeah, we've struggled with that. But honestly, I think you, for the most part, because you've been talking about it a lot. I don't think the 6-on-5 play has been as bad as you think it's been. Yeah, they haven't scored the empty nets, but I don't think it's been as bad as what you think it is. It wasn't last bad. Last year was really bad.
6 on 5. The Blues have scored 5 goals and given up 12.
Again, I didn't say it was a strength, but it was a lot worse last year, just to the eye. And again, I'm going to use your own words against you. Stats are not everything.
True.
So
the Kraken have scored 3 6 on 5 and given up 13, so they're actually worse than we are.
yeah. So I mean, 6 on 5, it's tough. 6 on 5 is tough. And like I said, I loved after the playoffs when they did the post game or the media scrum or whatever for the end of the season, how the first thing that they addressed was the 6 on 5 play, how it has to be better. And I do think it's been better. It's not been as good as it needs to be, but it's not been as bad, I don't think, to the eye as most would believe it is. All right, well, let's see here. We got Seattle getting some zone time here.
Oh,
nice.
I seen Doc put his hand in the air. I thought maybe something happened.
Let's see here. Was it Logan Paul? Was that who? Yeah, Logan Paul, I think. Okay, so Seattle pulled the goalie, so now they're going 6 on 5.
So actually,
Nice
it's
block. Another
5
block.
on 6. 5 on 6. The Blues have scored. I got this right. The Blues have scored 6 empty net goals and given up 12. Right, but when they're 5 on 6, they've allowed 4 goals. But I don't think that number's right. I think I'm not sure. I gotta figure this out. I'll have to ask somebody.
I'll be honest, guy. I'm telling you, I know what you're saying. I understand it, but I'm dead serious, man. We've watched all these games, and I don't think the Blues have given up a lot of 6 on 5 goals like you've been saying, or like how you think that they have. I really don't. I think they've been relatively pretty good. Let me see.
Last minute of the game, they've given up more goals than anybody else.
That I can agree with you on, because that I know for sure. But as of 6 on 5, some of the 2 of those, the 2 of those were tying, like the game was tied, and then Dallas they did it twice against us. So 2 of them were 5 on 5.
5 on 5.
I think most of them were 5 on 5. I think most of them. But all right, well, we'll see here. We'll see what the Blues are made of. 2:12 left. Empty net for the Seattle Kraken. Be huge for them to get a goal here and just seal it. That'd be nice. Nice win by Robert Thomas.
So it's 5 on 6. When they're 5 on 6, they've scored 5 goals and they've given up 4. So
delay a game. 6 on 4.
Delay a game on the Blues. Yep, on fault.
Yeah, 6. Yeah, 6. Yep, that puck. He roofs this puck. I understand what he's trying to do here. Man, he absolutely. I don't know how he gets this much on this puck, but it doesn't go the Blues' way on that one. This would not have been icing. Well, this will be interesting. This is going to be tough now. Blues 6 on 4 here.
Oh, it would have been icing. It would have been icing if it went all the way down the zone.
Well, I'm saying I don't know. I don't think this puck. If this puck was straight on, I don't think this puck makes it all the way to the down the ice.
Mm. Well, they put the goaltender back.
Oh, did they? Oh,
yep.
They'll probably try to gain control, and if they can't get, good keep by Dunn. Oh,
that was close.
Oh, very close there. McCann back at the point there. I like the Blues to be a little bit not overly aggressive, but aggressive, to try to not let them set up. That's what they want. They want to set up and get the attacker off.
Well, they haven't pulled the goalie yet. Now they did.
Yeah,
Now
now they did.
Hofer
Good
makes
save,
big
Hofer.
save. Big save.
Great save by Hofer. I don't know how much traffic was actually in front of him on that one. The first one by Dunn was a great save. I don't think the traffic was overly heavy on this second shot here, though. I could be wrong, though. Oh, yeah. The Kraken player does get in front of him, but it's pretty easy pickings there for Hofer there. Not a lot of traffic. Blues did a good job boxing the Kraken out from the slot. I think, Seattle taking a timeout. So I don't know what it is, man. I really like the Seattle jerseys. They when you see the Seattle jerseys, you automatically know who that is. All right, Seattle bumping over here. Let's see what happens. Minute 35 left.
Almost all.
You gotta love it though.
What?
Yep. You gotta love the trust that Montgomery's having though with a guy like Mayu being out there in such a crucial moment in the game.
Yep.
Who we got here? Robert Thomas, Broberg, Mayu, and
Suter.
Sundqvist. Oh, sorry, not Robert Thomas. Suter. Sorry.
Suter, Sundqvist.
Good clear. Yeah, no icing because the goalie pulled. So this is where the Blues can take advantage and just clear this puck. Matty Beniers. Well, I don't know what that play was from Beniers, but not a very good one.
Blues, the biggest thing is just get it out of the zone. You don't even have to go for the empty net. Just
Blues
get it out.
Blues thinking that there was a hand pass. Good save, Hofer. Blues were complaining there. They thought they saw a hand pass from Seattle. That should have been whistled dead. All right, 56 seconds left for the boys. Can they do it? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think this is good, I think. I think McCann just gloves this down. This was just a good hand-eye play by McCann. Suter, another face-off. This is why I love Suter, man. This is why you need Suter for a big-time push or for this team to be competitive. I think he's too good of a player just to give up. Eberle to McCann. Good save, Hofer, and a great stick. All right, crunch time, 30 seconds. What a save, Hofer. Oh, wow.
Dunn
nice. Jumps over Dunn's stick. What a save. Oh, my God, what a save. I think this is the flex. Too. What a save by Hofer.
I thought it went
I'm telling you, man.
The way they acted. I thought it went in.
I'm telling you, man.
Oh, yeah, it did deflect. Oh, what a, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this deflects. Yeah, this is, I'm telling you, we've already seen it. We've already had games like this. Oh, yeah, it does. I think it deflects like twice. I think it hits off our Blues guy blocking it, and then it hits off maybe the Kraken player. Yeah, twice. Yeah, I mean, not just tonight. Joe Hofer. This is Joe Hofer's net, and it's never been more clear to me than it is now. Like I said, you can't call him a number one because Bennington's still on this team. But he will be your number one when Bennington is not on this team.
True.
So, 4 seconds left. 4.8. Blues need another. Oh wow, they got fit. Man, I'm telling you what, I do love the ballsiness of Montgomery to give guys like this the opportunity. People were talking about opportunity, how the Blues don't give young players opportunity. I mean, you have Jack Finley out there taking the face-off, and 4 seconds left in the game.
A little early celebration there.
Yep. Great win for the Blues. Again, I want to say this too, because this is the last time I think that we will see the Kraken this year. This is the last meeting between the Blues and the Kraken this year. Might I add,
is this our third one?
Yeah, this is the third one. Might I add, the Blues would have had a season series sweep on the Kraken if the referees didn't screw us in the goalie interference call.
Yeah.
Might I add. So, so good season series for the Blues there on the Seattle Kraken. Good win overall. They finished it off. At no point, guy. Seattle had some good pressure, but I didn't really feel, like you say, I didn't feel at any point that I was like, oh, the Blues are going to give this up, if I'm honest.
I was a little nervous there towards the end with the 6-on-4, but 4-on-6, but the Blues did very, very well. Okay, now I know how to read that. Okay, well, we're just going to end the show because it's late. I mean, it's almost midnight in St. Louis right now? Almost midnight,
yeah, 11:30.
And then I need to talk to Justin about a couple of things offline. Nothing bad, just show stuff we need to talk about. So, Justin, I guess the question to you is, how do we end the show?
I think we got to ask the girls. Where are the girls at?
Oh, man, come on,
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
What are you wearing?
A Canadian tuxedo. And I'm a hockey player. Let's go Blues.
Are you ready for the question? Are you ready for the question?
I'm ready for the question, dude. I'm
Who's
ready,
late for
dude.
dinner?
Where are the boys? Where are they at?
Hawaii Blues fan, we're bleeding blue with you. Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues!
This is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, who are my co-host, Dustin Eagle Eye Scott, saying thank you so much for watching the BlueNote Fan Report on another game night as the Blues beat the Seattle Kraken 3-2 in regulation. And please remember that I am bleeding blue with you.
And as always, Thomas haters. Thomas has 5 points and 2 games. Let's go Blues.
This is Guy and Justin saying aloha mahalo, and we'll see you on the next BlueNote Fan Report on Friday night. Another late night Friday. Question is, what will this team look like? See you Friday. Aloha.